The story kicks off with a loud alarm blaring non-stop, slicing through the morning silence. The guy in bed jolts up and turns it off, staring around in shock. The room looks just like his old college dorm. But wasn't he just killed by Zhu Juyin in the immortal realm? This is Lin Jiken. Questions flood his mind. Hez alive, but everything is gone. His items, his cultivation, all his power. His hands are completely empty. He checks the date, August 7th, 2036, the exact day before 8 Desolations officially launches. A shocking conclusion forms in his head. He quickly calms down and recalls a legend from 8 Desolations. Zhu Juyin once owned a treasure called the Pisces Jade Pendant, said to reverse life and death. Turns out, it was real. He remembers that moment years ago. If he had put the pendant away in time, it wouldn't have fallen into Guo Jie and Xu Zikui's hands. The thought makes his blood boil. 10 years, he gave his whole heart to Guo Jie, and she repaid him with betrayal, teaming up with his closest brother Xu Zicui to kill him. They took all his wealth and treasures, then left him to die inside a beast's jaws. But now, he has another chance. He looks into the mirror, eyes cold and sharp. In this life, Guo Jie, Xu Zicui, you will pay. Just as his resolve peaks, his phone rings. The caller ID shows a painfully familiar name. That crazy woman. He answers with mixed emotions. Feng girl, long time no see, she instantly yells back between gym reps. Long time? We had hot pot yesterday. Xiaolin, listen up. I've got something important. Her words pull him back to the past. 10 years ago, on this exact day, she told him she saw Guo Jie being intimate with another man. He didn't believe her and cut her off. Now he softly says, sorry, Feng girl. She goes silent for a few seconds. Sorry for what? Did you take the wrong meds today? She turns serious. I'm not joking. I just saw Guo Jie getting cozy with another guy. She even got into his car. What shocks her is Lin Jiken's reaction. He calmly says, I know. I'm not surprised. She gets annoyed. Did you hear me? I'm serious. He cuts her off. Feng girl, I believe you. But it doesn't matter anymore. Something bigger is coming. She suddenly sounds worried. Bro, are you okay? Don't scare me with that calm tone. Have you heard of the game 8 Desolations? I'm going pro. He knows no one realizes yet that 8 Desolations isn't just a game. Very soon it will shock the entire world. In a few years, the line between game and reality will vanish. Everything in the game will appear in real life. Early players will have absolute advantage. Fengirl thinks Hez joking. You're going pro? Isn't this the AI Nuwa game? Well, you're decent. Maybe you'll make some money. Whether she believes him or not, he's determined. He plans to move out of the dorm and rent a place to grind full-time. She laughs. Oh wow, finally growing up. Fine, as long as you're okay. I'm hanging up. He quickly stops her. Wait, don't hang up. Hesitating, he says, I need to buy some in-game items. Spent too much yesterday. Can you lend me some money? She fires back instantly. In your dreams. Then she explodes. Broke already? Who told you to waste money buying expensive gifts for Guo Jie? Deal with it yourself. Bye. The call ends immediately. He sighs after failing to borrow money, wishing he had returned just one day earlier. Suddenly, his phone buzzes with a message. He opens it and freezes. Feng girl transferred money with a note. This is my gym membership fee for the next few years. Pay me back soon. If I can't work out, I'll drag you out as my punching bag. That's Feng girl for you. Tough on the outside, loyal at heart. Lin Jiken quickly replies, don't worry, I'll pay you back on time. That night, he lies still on his bed, eyes locked on his wristwatch. The crucial moment is getting closer. Everything is ready. Suddenly, the ring on his finger glows with a strange red light. He calmly raises his hand and swipes through the air with practiced precision. A red beam bursts out and floods the entire room. 2 massive words appear with crushing pressure. 8 Desolations. Global beta officially begins. The familiar interface shows up. 10 years later, Hez finally back where it all started. The moment he enters the game, he sees a crowded plaza packed with players. Chaos fills the air. Look, it's Nuwa. Shez glowing, I can't see her face. But Lin Jiken knows the truth. AI Nuwa is the first trial of this game. She looks simple on the surface, but one mistake here can cost you dearly. Yet the crowd keeps joking around. Shez so pretty. Nuwa goddess, marry me. Let me follow you. He can only shake his head. These people have no idea what they are doing. As expected, Nuwa speaks coldly. Silence. A massive tornado appears and sweeps players away. Screams erupt everywhere. NPCs can get angry. What's happening? Run. But Lin Jiken knows the rule. Disrespect Nuwa and you'll be punished. Light penalty means prison. Heavy penalty means permanent stat loss. Only sincerity earns favor. He immediately straightens his posture and stands respectfully before Nuwa. A gentle yet majestic voice echoes in his ear. Mortal, your aptitude is not bad. Are you truly willing to walk the arduous path of cultivation? He bows deeply. Yes. I, Lin Jiken, ask Nuwa Nyang to grant me a good talent. Very well. I shall grant you a destiny. He understands how crucial this talent is. In his previous life, he received Genius Merchant. It sounded great, but it was useless in combat. Just cheaper shop prices, almost meaningless for cultivation. He tells himself that even if he gets the same result again, he can still turn things around with his experience. The process ends. He slowly opens his eyes. A notification appears. Congratulations! You have obtained the talent Defy Heaven and Change Fate. Maxed attributes but reduced upon death. Double rewards but heavenly tribulations follow. Every breakthrough grants a new talent with harsh conditions. He freezes. This is far beyond ordinary. The risks are huge, but so are the rewards. Before he can think further, Manhwa speaks again. The talent is granted. Now choose your appearance. It sounds simple, but each choice hides different stats. After scanning the options, he instantly selects one, the highest base charm among all presets. He remembers his past mistake. He once picked a weird style just to stand out, and suffered because appearance affects NPC interactions. High charm means better quests and easier favor from opposite gender NPCs. This time, he will not repeat that mistake. After confirming his look, Manhwa continues. Now choose your place of origin. A vast map unfolds before his eyes. With memories from his past life, Lin Jihan knows every region. The world is divided into 4 continents. Yangding continent for spell cultivators, Manhwa continent for support paths, Muxin continent for sword cultivators, Huafeng continent for close combat fighters. Stats also matter deeply. Root bone determines cultivation limits. Spiritual aptitude affects magic power. Comprehension speeds up skill learning. Charm influences NPC favor. Luck controls fortune. His character panel appears. No sect, no class, 0 fame, empty cultivation, mortal realm. But his innate stats are maxed out. Root bone 100, spiritual aptitude 100, comprehension 100, outstanding charm, luck at the absolute peak. Looking at those perfect numbers, he feels satisfied. If he follows the spell path, becoming the strongest mage is only a matter of time. But he remembers the fatal weakness of spell cultivators in solo combat. He suffered badly because of it before. Back then, he chose that path just to please Guojie. This time, he will follow the path he truly wants. Without hesitation, Lin Jikan chooses Muxian continent and steps onto the sword cultivator path. He knows that to stand at the top, you must face danger head-on. Sword cultivators dominate single-target damage. That's his best choice. Determination surges in his chest. In this life, he will rise to the peak and sweep the world with his blade. The scenery shifts instantly. He appears in Muxian continent's beginner village. The server just opened, so the place is packed. Noise fills the air. New players shout for teams and quests. Some brag about their backgrounds. Others marvel at how real the game feels. The lively scene makes him pause, a wave of nostalgia hitting him. A group of players suddenly surrounds an old man in the crowd, fighting to trigger a hidden quest. Lin Jikan takes one glance and walks away. To him, that's blind guessing. He already has his own path toward the sword sect. On the way, he hears players complaining that NPCs won't respond and no quests are triggering. But as he passes by, the innkeeper who ignored everyone suddenly calls out, "Young man, please wait." The crowd turns to look. Even he is slightly surprised. The innkeeper smiles gently, introducing herself as Queen Yang, and offers him a quest. The players around are stunned. She steps closer, speaking softly about her loneliness, and suggesting they complete the quest together. Lin Jikan immediately realizes this is the effect of his maxed charm stat. Her eyes are full of expectation, waiting for his answer. The temptation is strong, but he restrains himself. He cannot afford distractions. He cups his hands politely. "Sorry, I have urgent matters today. If there's a chance, I'll return." The crowd is shocked. A quest they couldn't get, and he rejects it so easily. As he leaves, Cui Niang watches with regret. Deep down, he feels a bit reluctant too, but time is more valuable than anything. What he wants isn't here, it's somewhere else. Stopping before an old house, he sees players walking out frustrated. They complain about a strange blacksmith who won't respond. Lin Jikan simply nods and walks inside. The others mock him, thinking he's wasting time. He doesn't slow down. Inside, it's dim. A muscular blacksmith is focused on an unfinished sword, muttering in annoyance. Lin Jikan understands the true value of this place. Without a word, he steps forward and starts pulling the bellows to raise the furnace heat. After a few adjustments, the blacksmith's eyes light up. The problem was the temperature all along. The blacksmith thanks him, explaining he lacked assistance. As a reward, he allows Lin Jikan to borrow any weapon for one day. It sounds minor, but Lin Jikan isn't disappointed. This is only the beginning. He knows the real reward comes later. He walks to the rack, scans the options, and picks an ordinary iron sword. The decisive choice earns the blacksmith's approval. Lowering his voice, the blacksmith adds a condition. Bring back a pair of bamboo leaf green snake fangs within 1 day, and you'll receive a special reward. Lin Jikan accepts instantly. As he leaves the forge, he feels everything is on track, but the sword in his hand draws attention. Someone approaches to ask about it. He casually makes up a story, saying anyone can get a weapon if they follow certain steps. The crowd believes him and rushes into the forge. Soon, the place turns chaotic. People even start singing and shouting randomly. Finally, the blacksmith loses his patience and roars in anger. The players are still confused, until a sharp shout echoes through the forge. A powerful force sweeps through and blasts everyone outside. Only then do they realize they were tricked and start looking for him in anger. Ignoring the chaos behind him, Lin Jikin reaches the bamboo forest and begins hunting. His presence alerts the bamboo leaf green snakes coiled on top of the trees. They dive down all at once to attack. He reacts instantly, drawing his sword and striking with clean precision. In moments the snake falls, its health bar hits 0. After the kill, he clearly feels his strength rising. A solid start. When the snake disappears, 3 glowing items drop. A bamboo leaf green bow, a venom snake sword, and a snake pouch. Even he is surprised. Drop rates in 8 desolations are extremely low, yet one normal mob drops 3 items. It must be his maxed luck. He doesn't stop there, and continues testing his fortune. Soon, the entire forest turns into his personal hunting ground. The air fills with killing intent. The remaining snakes panic and scatter. Before long, his inventory is full. Not only quest items, but plenty of poison arrows and copper coins. The harvest exceeds expectations. Satisfied, he heads back to the village. As soon as he arrives, he goes straight to the forge. He places the quest items down and confirms the amount. After checking, the blacksmith nods in approval. He keeps his promise and hands over the reward. The moment Lin Jikin sees it, his eyes sharpen. It's a recommendation letter to join the sword sect. He stores it carefully and asks around. No one else has received one yet. That means he's already 1 step ahead. No time to waste. Leaving the forge, he heads to the busy market and raises the weapon high, calling out his offer. Players immediately gather and start bidding. Amid the noise, a clear voice offers a much higher price. Everyone turns to look, curious about the girl who spoke. She walks forward with a cold aura and asks to trade immediately. The price surprises even Lin Jikin. But before he can answer, another voice raises the bid. A man steps out, introducing himself as Wang Jinghao, guild leader of Wanshi Guild. He studies Lin Jikin, clearly considering recruitment. The name alone sparks whispers in the crowd. Lin Jikin remains calm, though he recognizes Wang Jinghao from his past life. Wang Jinghao acts generous, offering extra money to build goodwill. Lin Jikin politely refuses and stands firm. Inside, he regrets the excuse he made earlier. Even so, Wang Jinghao maintains a friendly tone and insists on closing the deal. At that moment, the pink-haired girl raises the bid again. The atmosphere turns tense as the two continue competing. The price skyrockets while Lin Jikin simply watches. He silently evaluates the situation and senses opportunity. Finally, the girl calls out a shocking price, 360,000. Wang Jinghao can no longer stay calm and issues a warning. The crowd erupts. Someone is willing to spend 360,000 on a beginner weapon. To them, it's pure madness. And daring to challenge young Master Wang makes her identity even more suspicious. The pink-haired girl remains calm. Higher price gets the item. That's normal. Just because you want it doesn't mean others can't buy it. In her eyes, Wanshi Guild is nothing special. Realizing diplomacy won't work, Wang Jinghao snorts and waves his sleeve. Forget it. I'm not buying. He refuses to waste that much on a starter item. Just as he turns to leave, Lin Jikin suddenly calls out, "Wait, young Master Wang, please hold on." With a humble tone, he says he has long admired the Wanshi group. If young Master Wang is willing to pay 500,000, he would be deeply grateful and hopes for future support. Deal. Those words please Wang Jinghao greatly. He thinks Lin Jikin knows his place. Smiling proudly, he promises that if Lin Jikin ever faces trouble, Wanshi will back him fully, then asks for his account to transfer the money. Meanwhile, Lin Jikin calculates quietly. Build goodwill now. Use it later if needed. Wang Jinghao turns to the pink-haired girl with a superior tone, saying he won't argue with her and even suggests she consider joining his guild. As he walks away, Lin Jikin sneers inwardly. All that money wasted for pride, and he's happy about it. Rich but short-sighted. He knows once Wang Jinghao uses that bow for a while, he'll realize the flaw. Poison arrows have limited uses. After that, it's useless, and the beginner quests tied to it aren't worth the effort. Before he can savor the moment, the pink-haired girl returns, eyes sharp and filled with anger. What kind of person are you? You said highest bid wins. Acting polite on the outside but bending to power. Only then does Lin Jikin realize has upset both sides. He starts thinking about making it up to her. Still furious, she turns and walks away without hesitation. The scene shifts to Jiaxu Forest, where a group of women are hunting monsters. The pink-haired girl immediately gives orders, telling everyone to spread out and handle 2 small boars each. The group responds in unison, yes. Not long after, a low voice sounds behind her, confirming they are indeed here. She turns. It's Lin Jikin. Her expression hardens. She demands to know why he followed her. Lin Jikin remains calm and asks for a brief private talk. Su Yanyan grips her sword tightly, eyes full of caution, and tells him to state his purpose. She thinks his relationship with Wang Jinghao isn't deep. Maybe he was just dazzled by wealth. She considers giving him a chance to rethink. Instead, Lin Jikin says he holds valuable information. Price, 500,000. With confidence, he claims this intel can push her guild ahead of its rivals. Su Yanyan questions why he didn't sell it to Wang Jinghao instead. Lin Jikin scoffs lightly, has not worth relying on. That was all an act. I have no backing. To survive, I must adapt. In truth, Hes thinking her rivalry with Wang Jinghao could make her a future ally. Even so, Su Yanyan stays wary. His sudden shift is hard to trust. Seeing her hesitate, he urges her to decide quickly, provides his account, and assures her of his credibility. She thinks that if it's true, missing it would be a huge loss. After a brief pause, she makes a firm decision and transfers the money immediately. When the notification arrives, Lin Jikin gives a thumbs up, clearly satisfied. Excitement rises in his chest. Just entering the game and he's already earned 1 million gold. A perfect start. It may be nothing later, but right now it changes everything. Once the money is secure, he clears his throat and reveals the secret. Stop hunting boars. Go to the weapon shop and take the quest. Su Yanyan reacts instantly, saying there's no such quest there and accusing him of lying. She even suspects Wang Jinghao is behind this. If that's true, she won't let Lin Jikin leave this forest easily. Facing her guarded stare, he stays composed. You just did it wrong. The blacksmith is busy. Help him pump the bellows for a few minutes and the quest will trigger. He adds that if she doesn't believe him, send one person to test it, but keep it secret. If the news spreads, it loses value. He pauses for a beat, then stresses that the mission itself is not the real point. The key part comes after it. Lin Jishin takes out an item, and Su Yanning instantly recognizes it as a sect letter, saying only with this can you locate the sect and get a chance to cultivate. After that, he turns to leave, saying everything is clear and the choice is hers. But Su Yanning quickly stops him and asks why he would sell such crucial information to her. Lin Jikin glances back with a faint smile and says he is not sure, maybe because he finds her kind of cute. That casual line makes Su Yanning's heart skip a beat. Just as the air turns awkward, a panicked cry for help echoes from afar. They look over and see her friends being chased by a giant wild boar. Someone screaming that they ran into a boss, and this one is way bigger than normal. Seeing the danger, Su Wanling immediately orders a retreat, because their current team is no match for it. At that moment, Lin Jikin calmly steps forward, saying they are lucky to meet the village's strongest boss on day 1, and if they will not fight it, he will take it. His plan to face it alone shocks everyone, unsure if he really intends to solo that massive monster. Lin Jichin then turns to Su Yanning and says he already sold his bow, so he needs to borrow her sword. Seeing how fearless he looks, Su Yanning tosses him the sword and tells him not to be reckless and to stay alive. Thanks, Lin Jikin says as he catches it, his expression turning sharp and focused. Su Wanling's friends start whispering, some saying he is courting death, others thinking he is just showing off, though they admit he looks good next to Su Wanling, making her blush. Embarrassed and annoyed, she snaps at them to behave, but that only makes them laugh harder. Meanwhile, Lin Jikin charges in and begins his fight against the wild boar boss. After dodging a heavy strike, he regrets selling his bow too early, since ranged combat would be much easier than close combat. Even so, he gathers his strength and slashes hard at the boss' head. Sparks fly, but the monster barely reacts and immediately counterattacks. Lin Jikin feels the pressure. Even the weakest spot deals little damage. This boss is insanely tough. If he keeps fighting head-on, he will just waste stamina for nothing. Since brute force will not work, he switches tactics. The next second, he turns and runs, shouting loudly as he does. Su Wanling's group starts talking again, thinking he gave up, even joking about his funny running posture, but saying he cannot outrun that fast beast. Su Yanning shakes her head, thinking his love for showing off got him into this mess. But since it is early game, failure would not be too costly. The scene shifts to the foot of a mountain, where Lin Jikin has lured the boss. He quickly climbs up a cliff, flips his body over, and loudly taunts the charging beast. The wild boar cannot stop in time and crashes straight into the rock wall. The impact drops a big chunk of its HP and even breaks one of its tusks. From above, loose rocks keep falling, cutting down the boss' HP even further. The girls stare in shock and gasp at the scene. After the rockfall, the wild boar is stunned, its huge body swaying. Lin Jikin instantly knows this is his chance. Without hesitation, he rushes out from behind cover and repeatedly slashes at the monster's head. In just over 2 minutes, the boss' HP is dragged down to a critical level. Its eyes suddenly turn blood red, signaling its rage mode. The situation becomes dangerous again. Facing the tension, Lin Jikin chooses to pull back and wait for the right moment. The instant he spots an opening, he dashes in and chops off another tusk. The boss' remaining HP is now barely a sliver. Lin Jikin pours all his strength into one final move, leaping high with both hands gripping the sword. Wild boar boss, goodbye. The blade plunges straight down into its head. When he lands, he holds a heroic pose. Before he can enjoy the victory, a blinding light suddenly erupts. After killing the boss, he gains 70 cultivation points, breaks into the early chi refining stage, and the system announces his talent is activated, doubling all his stats. Lin Jikin feels the power surging through his body, officially stepping onto the path of cultivation, growing far faster than expected thanks to that boss encounter. The system then adds a bonus effect, granting a random ability that boosts his vitality, a huge early game advantage on top of his already doubled stats. Once the upgrade is complete, the system congratulates him and asks if he wants to stay anonymous. Without hesitation, Lin Jiken chooses to reveal his name. In an instant, every player sees a sky-wide announcement declaring him the first to kill the novice boss, and rumors spread that he must belong to a big guild using team tactics. Su Yanning also sees the announcement and finally learns his name. Meanwhile, the boss corpse fades away, leaving behind several pieces of purple glowing gear. Even Lin Jiken is surprised by the loot. The amount of high-quality equipment far exceeds expectations, proving his luck is insane. While he is still enjoying the moment, the sky suddenly changes, flashing with strange light and rumbling thunder. The system issues a warning that in 30 minutes, a heavenly tribulation will descend. Hearing that, Lin Jiken freezes. He quickly realizes this is the price of his talent. Every breakthrough will trigger a tribulation, and failure means a heavy cost. Without delay, he decides to rush to the sect, hoping to find someone strong enough to help him survive it. At that moment, Su Yanning walks over, asks to add him as a friend, and suggests working together if he wants to trade gear. Lin Jiken agrees at once and gives her his ID. "I have something to handle. I am leaving first." Watching him hurry away, Su Yanning feels confused and slightly annoyed. She mutters, wondering why he is in such a rush. Are they really scarier than the boss? At the sect gate, the sky grows darker as thunder begins to gather. Lin Jiken runs at full speed, praying someone will accept him as a disciple before the tribulation falls. Reaching the gate, he loudly requests to take a master. The people around him immediately start whispering. Before anyone understands what is happening, the sky violently shifts, dark clouds rolling in with deafening thunder. Amid the chaos, a figure appears floating in midair. A dignified voice orders silence. It is the sect leader, Lang Feiyan. Observing the sky, her expression turns serious as she recognizes the sign of a heavenly tribulation. The surrounding elders are shocked. None of them knew anyone was breaking through. Just then, a desperate cry echoes from afar, drawing closer. New disciple Lin Jiken begs the seniors to save his life. As the tribulation is about to strike, Lin Jiken drops to his knees. He raises his disciple token high, anxiety filling his heart, knowing he cannot survive the tribulation alone. At the critical moment, Lang Feiyan gently lifts her hand. A golden barrier instantly forms around Lin Jiken. Lightning crashes down and shatters the shield, but luckily he survives. He exhales in relief. As long as he lives, it is enough. Failure would mean starting over and losing precious time. The elders are stunned. A mere early chi refining disciple, triggering a tribulation is almost unheard of, and whoever takes him in will gain great glory. Before anyone finishes speaking, the elders rush forward to compete. Each declares their intention to accept him and promises full support, some even trying to block the others. The competition grows intense. Everyone wants this opportunity. Seeing the chaos, Lin Jiken thinks everything is going according to plan. Joining the sect was the right move to survive the tribulation. He did not expect so many elders to fight over him, but he keeps a calm face to leave a good impression. Just as he is about to speak, a steady voice echoes out, telling everyone to stop arguing. Everyone falls silent and turns toward the voice. It is sect leader, Lang Feiyan, and the elders whisper because she has never taken a disciple before. Lang Feiyan calmly asks Lin Jiken if he is willing to become her direct disciple. The system announces a major opportunity, saying the sect leader wants him as her disciple. And though he looks calm, Lin Jiken is shaken inside because this chance is huge. He immediately bows in agreement, and Lang Feiyan nods, declaring him her only disciple before leading him into the inner hall. Lin Jiken is still stunned. He never expected to gain such a powerful backing right after joining. Inside the Tianyan sect's inner hall, Lang Feiyan brings him to a quiet area and tells him this will be his cultivation place from now on. She says someone will deliver his belongings and arrange his residence. She also orders him to report to the main hall the next morning, and Lin Jiken respectfully agrees. Watching her leave, he feels this master is distant, but he does not mind and decides to focus on growing stronger. After waiting for a long time with no one showing up, Lin Jiken starts feeling impatient and wonders what happened. Since no one comes, he decides to explore on his own and walks deeper into the inner hall, which looks like a vast royal palace. As he moves, he notices the ancient and solemn architecture, and a palace deep inside catches his attention, tempting him to enter. Without thinking too much, Lin Jiken pushes the door open. Inside, Lang Feiyan is changing her clothes, and when she hears the noise, she turns around with icy eyes. Caught off guard, Lin Jiken quickly explains and apologizes awkwardly for intruding. Lang Feiyan stays cold and simply stares at him without a word. With a flick of spiritual power, she knocks him to the ground, his HP nearly dropping to 0. Her majestic voice questions how he dared to trespass. Terrified, Lin Jiken kneels and repeatedly apologizes, saying he waited too long and wandered in by mistake, begging for forgiveness. Inside, he worries this will ruin her impression of him. Luckily, Lung Feiyan does not pursue it. She takes out a pill and gives it to him, saying she will let it slide this time. She sternly warns that without permission, he must never enter again, or there will be no second chance. A system panel appears, showing it is a high-grade pill that boosts attributes and restores stamina, leaving Lin Jiken shocked by her generosity. After respectfully accepting it, he quickly retreats and kneels outside the door to thank her. He carefully stores the pill, planning to use it at a critical moment. Sometime later, the disciple arranged by Lung Feiyan finally appears. It is Nan Gongyu from the Tianyan Sword Sect, the same girl who once guided others, lively and bright as she calls out for her junior brother to greet her. Lin Jiken immediately bows, saying junior brother Lin Jiken greets senior sister Nan Gongyu. Pleased by his manners, Nan Gongyu nods and introduces herself as being at the late core formation stage, promising to take care of him, and the system shows her favorability increases to love at first sight. Lin Jiken stays humble while quickly calculating in his mind, smiling respectfully and praising her beauty and cultivation. Even knowing it is flattery, Nan Gongyu laughs happily and calls him quite the smooth talker. Lin Jiken follows the mood and calmly says cultivation comes from daily accumulation, not appearance. But deep down, he knows the right compliment at the right time works wonders. As he finishes, Nan Gongyu smiles brighter, and the system shows her favorability rising again to harmonious conversation. Through this interaction, Lin Jiken realizes she is far more approachable than Lung Feiyan, and in 8 desolations, higher favorability means more hidden opportunities. 1 to 10 love at first sight, 11 to 20 harmonious conversation, 21 to 30 travel together, 31 to 40 frequent company, 41 to 50 mutual understanding, 51 to 60 inseparable, 61 to 70 like siblings, 71 to 80 deep bond, 81 to 90 life and death allies, 91 to 100 bound for life and death. He sums it up in his head with a female NPC. Once it reaches mutual understanding, there can be physical contact, and at inseparable you can become cultivation partners and unlock dual cultivation. Still, raising favorability is never easy. In his past life, many players devoted themselves to NPCs and failed miserably. As he recalls that, his throat tightens and he suddenly coughs up blood. Nan Gongyu rushes over, worry on her face, asking when he got hurt. Lin Jiken quickly calculates that without medicine, the injury will take long to heal, so he decides to use this chance to gain more benefits. He wipes the blood from his lips, and weakly says he accidentally disturbed Shifa's cultivation, and was punished. Hearing that, Nan Gongyu freezes, her cheeks turning slightly red. She blames herself for arriving late and staying up reading novels, apologizing for causing the misunderstanding. She immediately takes out a bottle of qi, replenishing pills, and urges him to use it, and Lin Jiken thanks her while thinking the injury was worth it. Nan Gongyu keeps blaming herself, but Lin Jiken waves it off and says it was his own fault. His words move her even more, and the system shows another increase in favorability. Her favorability rises again, maintaining the harmonious conversation state. As if remembering something, Nan Gongyu takes out a clear jade pendant and gives it to him as compensation, shocking Lin Jiken when he sees its stats. She tells him to keep it safe, while he feels awkward about its value. He says it is too precious, but she casually replies it is nothing, and she has plenty more. She then offers to take him to his residence, saying the basic gear for new disciples is ready, and Lin Jiken gratefully accepts. Deep down, he reflects that without the right approach, none of this would be so easy. NPCs in 8 desolations are just like real people. They stop before a formation carved into the ground, and Nan Gongyu explains, this is an Earth-grade spirit gathering array that greatly boosts cultivation speed. She activates it with immortal arts. Green light spreading as spiritual energy thickens, and Lin Jiken is amazed since he once only had access to a mystic-grade array. He recalls that most beginners log off while meditating, but the growth rate is usually slow. Yet he is placed in an Earth-grade array, clearly receiving treatment far beyond normal players. Once everything is settled, Nan Gongyu lightly pats his shoulder and says her task is done. She tells him to cultivate diligently and leaves, and Lin Jiken respectfully thanks her. His status panel appears, early chi refining stage, and with the array, his cultivation speed reaches 52 points per hour. Excitement fills him. At this rate, a few hours of idle training might push him to completion, so he decides to cultivate for now and switches to offline mode. At the same time in the real world, Lin Jiken suddenly wakes up in bed. He immediately grabs his phone. A bank message shows his balance at 61,782 yuan. The number stirs intense emotion in him. Earning over 1.6 million in just hours means his second chance is truly within reach. Just then, the roar of an engine echoes outside as Feng Ponyang rides up on her heavy motorcycle. The bike stops right in front of his new apartment. You are here. Seeing him open the door, she walks in with slight annoyance, asking why he called her so early, and he confidently replies that he just wants to show her the new apartment he rented. She looks around in surprise and asks if he really rented this place, and Lin Jikin casually says yes, 6,000 yuan a month. Hearing the price, she throws an arm over his shoulder and jokes that he dares to spend her gym money, and he calmly replies that if he cannot pay it back anyway, he might as well use it. Feng Ponyang instantly explodes and jumps off the couch. She rushes straight at him. With angry eyes, she pins him down and demands what he just said, then loses control and starts hitting him. She grabs his collar and punches repeatedly, while he coughs and begs her to stop. Before he can explain, something unexpected happens, and both of them freeze. The atmosphere turns extremely awkward. After a moment, she erupts again and accuses him of taking advantage, and he quickly denies it. In the middle of their argument, a voice calls from outside, saying the game pod has been delivered, and asks him to open the door. Turning to Ren Lan, he explains the gaming chair is a gift for her, and if she does not want it, he will return it, and her attitude softens immediately. He says he is not sure if it is enough to repay what he owes her, and since her dorm is small, she can keep it here. Instantly excited, she runs to check it out, asking if it is the newest model and taking photos, and he sighs that money really solves problems. After settling everything, Lin Jikin quickly logs back into 8 Desolations. Leng Feiyan is already there, and comments that his talent is outstanding, and he is close to another breakthrough, while Lin Jikin humbly asks for guidance on advancing past early qi refining. She nods and takes out a glowing pill, saying it is a top-grade condensing qi pill that can help him reach mid-qi refining. Lin Jikin eagerly accepts it, knowing only major sects can refine something like this. But Leng Feiyan does not hand it over yet and reminds him that true strength requires real combat experience, not just higher realms. Lin Jikin fully agrees, saying those raised in safety cannot compare to those forged through hardship, and he seriously absorbs her advice. A hint of approval flashes in Leng Feiyan's eyes as she deems him worthy of being her disciple. The system shows her favorability, increasing to love at first sight. Lin Jikin feels pleased, surprised that even his bond with Shifu is improving. He senses her proud attitude slowly softening and knows the relationship may deepen further. Even so, he reminds himself to stay focused on the sword path he chose. Leng Feiyan turns serious and orders him to complete a sect mission suited to his level before he can receive the pill, and he immediately accepts. Before he leaves, she gives him a cultivation manual called the Tianyan Heart Sutra, saying it is the foundation every disciple must master. Lin Jikin bows and promises to cultivate it diligently. In truth, while all disciples can learn it, outer disciples must complete missions to exchange for it. As he walks away, he notices not many players have joined the sect yet, just as he predicted. Since the sect referral quest is hidden and time-consuming to find, few players have entered, but it does not matter because he is already an inner disciple. Just then, a clear voice calls from behind, and he turns to see a girl running toward him. It is Wanling with her friend, both excited to see him, and Lin Jikin notes she has joined the sword sect, thinking this could be a useful connection later. He takes the initiative to greet her. What a coincidence, you joined the sword sect too? Wanling smiles and says she loves swords, so this was her first choice. Lin Jikin replies politely, then excuses himself to take a mission. Wanling looks a little disappointed, while her friend teases that he is not easy to get close to. Wanling frowns at the teasing. Then they switch to talking about missions, complaining about not having enough contribution points to exchange for a cultivation method. Meanwhile, Lin Jikin is already in line for missions, holding the Tianyan Heart Sutra and studying it while he waits. Soon, it is finally his turn. He puts the skill away, cups his fists, introduces himself, and asks to accept a mission. The person in charge smiles and reminds him to choose wisely and not take unnecessary risks. Scanning the list, Lin Jikin hesitates. The easy missions give little experience, and the harder ones still are not enough to truly test him. Suddenly, his eyes lock onto a gold-tier mission tied to Fengku City, marked clearly as hell-level difficulty. Lin Jikin quickly calculates. The mission location is somewhere he knows well. He makes his decision. Special missions mean special rewards. With the Tianyan Heart Sutra boosting his stats and his knowledge of the terrain, his chances are high. The mission board details it out. Recover the lost secret manual of Tianyan Sword Sect. The hint warns extreme danger, not suitable for low cultivation. Zhang Hai was killed while carrying it. The task is revenge and retrieval. Rewards include spirit stones, contribution points, pills, martial skills, and a hidden bonus. Seeing his choice, the overseer warns him. The enemy may be at late qi refining, far stronger than him, and rules forbid taking new missions before finishing old ones. Lin Jikin stays firm and accepts anyway. Murmurs rise around him. Most think he is reckless, challenging someone that strong with his current level. Ignoring them, Lin Jikin shows a faint smile and walks away. Scene shifts to Fengku City as he rides his flying sword through the sky. After landing, he starts gathering information. The townsfolk see a disciple from Tianyan sword sect and greet him respectfully. Inside the city, he spots a man loudly sharing all kinds of news from across the land. After observing, Lin Jiken realizes this is an information broker living off secrets. He listens patiently, knowing clues will surface. Soon, the relevant news appears. Jiang Hai was killed during training outside the city. The murderer is Zhu Hao, a demonic rogue cultivator at Late Qi Refining. Hearing this, Lin Jiken's eyes shift slightly. He has found his lead. When the crowd disperses, he follows the man and offers to buy more details, knowing deeper secrets come at a price. The man turns around confidently, introduces himself as Li Si, and says information is available for the right amount. Lin Jiken pays without hesitation and asks for Zhu Hao's whereabouts. Li Si reveals he often visits pleasure houses in the city and hints at more important info for an extra fee. Lin Jiken agrees. Li Si smiles satisfied and continues. He warns that Zhu Hao has an older brother who has reached Foundation establishment, so caution is advised. The scene shifts to a lively tavern filled with drunken laughter. After indulging himself, Zhu Hao walks out unsteadily, surrounded by flattering courtesans seeing him off. He throws out a few arrogant words before leaving. From a distance, Lin Jiken hides in the shadows, confirming his target. As Zhu Hao enters a nearby forest, he begins to sense someone following him. He suddenly shouts in alert. Lin Jiken steps out calmly and says he is here to take his life. Zhu Hao sneers, draws his weapon, and judges Lin Jiken to be only early Qi refining, nothing to fear. He lunges forward at high speed. Lin Jiken dodges smoothly, causing the strike to miss. Zhu Hao spins and attacks again. This time, the blow is blocked, and the counterforce pushes him back. Zhu Hao cannot hide his shock. How can someone at a lower realm possess such strength? Lin Jichen answers calmly. It is not that he is strong, it is that Zhu Hao is weak, and proper cultivation of a heart method makes all the difference. Enraged, Zhu Hao pours spiritual energy into his weapon, preparing a powerful strike. A fierce attack crashes down with overwhelming force. Facing it, Lin Jiken remains composed. He activates his spirit shield and takes the chance to test the spirit-gathering jade pendant given by Nanggong Yue. The protective barrier flares to life and easily nullifies the attack, leaving him completely unharmed. He silently praises the skill's effect and the value of the treasure he just received. Across from him, after unleashing the move, Zhu Hao pants heavily, annoyed that his opponent has such strong gear, even threatening to seize it. Lin Jiken responds coldly, not taking his words seriously at all. Zhu Hao charges again recklessly, but every strike is effortlessly dodged. The worsening situation starts to fill him with unease. He quickly creates distance, looking for a chance to escape. But Lin Jiken closes in instantly and slashes down, severely injuring him with one sword strike. Zhu Hao panics as a single hit wipes out a huge chunk of his health, while both of their stats are clearly visible to Lin Jiken. The stat gap makes everything obvious. Even at a lower realm, Lin Jiken's overall power is superior. The advantage now fully shifts to Lin Jiken. Zhu Hao struggles for a few more exchanges but is soon blasted back, his body heavily damaged. Lin Jiken points his sword at him and demands the secret manual. Terrified, Zhu Hao begs for mercy, willing to hand everything over to survive. But at that moment, a sudden killing intent descends. Lin Jiken instantly dodges, the attack nearly striking Zhu Hao as well. Recognizing the newcomer, Zhu Hao immediately cries for help, his tone turning smug. He sneers, claiming the situation has changed. Lin Jichen quickly realizes the newcomer is Zhu Shen, a Foundation establishment cultivator far stronger than Zhu Hao. Zhu Shen walks forward calmly, scolding his brother for being reckless, and saying things would have ended badly if he arrived any later. Then his gaze shifts to Lin Jiken. With open disdain, he demands all his treasures in exchange for his life. Meanwhile, Zhu Hao hurriedly takes out pills, planning to recover and rejoin the fight. But in a brief opening, a sword suddenly pierces straight through his throat. Zhu Hao can only make a few broken sounds before collapsing, leaving Zhu Shen no time to react. Zhu Shen can only watch helplessly as his brother dies. Lin Jiken remains cold, making it clear his goal was to eliminate both from the start. He raises his sword and points it at Zhu Shen, eyes filled with fighting intent. That attitude ignites Zhu Shen's fury, and he immediately launches an attack. The strike exceeds expectations, partially hitting Lin Jiken and dealing heavy damage, forcing him to acknowledge the clear gap. He quickly counterattacks, pushing Zhu Shen back to create distance. Zhu Shen's detailed stats appear, revealing overwhelming strength at the Foundation establishment level. Just as Lin Jiken steadies his breath, he senses danger from behind. Zhu Shen moves at extreme speed, circling behind for another strike. Unable to fully dodge, Lin Jiken blocks but is still forced back repeatedly by the impact. He quickly assesses the fight. Zhu Shen dominates in speed and strength, but he himself holds the edge in combat experience. Zhu Shen grows even angrier at failing to crush him quickly, seeing it as humiliation and unleashes an even stronger killing move. Lin Jiken braces and raises his sword to defend, but this blow is far heavier, costing him 300 HP. His breathing turns ragged. Spirit Shield is still on cooldown for 10 more minutes. Thankfully, Phantom Step is almost ready. For now, he will use it to stall Zhu Shen. Without hesitation, Lin Jiken's figure blurs, moving rapidly and leaving overlapping afterimages that distort his opponent's vision. But Zhu Shen is unfazed. He smirks and activates a similar movement technique. Compete in speed with me? Dream on. As he speaks, 3 identical figures appear around him, all swinging their blades in perfect sync, leaving no obvious escape. Lin Jiken frowns slightly, recalling this type of clone technique. They look identical, but careful observation reveals subtle differences. The clearest sign lies in the eyes. Only the real body carries a living spark. The others are hollow. After only seconds of focus, he locks onto the real one. Without hesitation, he thrusts his sword forward, dealing 55 damage and triggering a 5-second defense reduction. Excitement flashes in his heart. This defense debuff is priceless, cutting nearly half of Zhu Shen's resistance. He has to end this fast. He surges forward like a sharp gust of wind and follows up with another slash, taking over 100 HP. Zhu Shen coughs blood, eyes turning vicious. Rage explodes from him, his aura skyrockets, and he blasts Lin Jiken flying backward. He glares like a beast. "You brat, you think I am weak?" Before he finishes, his blade art erupts at terrifying speed. Lin Jiken cannot fully react and is struck repeatedly, his HP dropping fast. He grits his teeth. This speed is beyond what he can handle right now. If he were mid-chi refining, it would be different. With less than 1/3 HP left, this is dangerous. His resolve hardens. He takes out a profound-grade purple jade pill given by his master. It boosts all stats by 30 for 5 minutes and restores 3000 HP if not attacked continuously. If he dies, his talent drops by 10%. He cannot afford that. Without hesitation, he swallows the pill. Sensing something off, Zhu Shen pauses his assault, eyes turning wary. Lin Jiken feels a surge of power flood his body. His entire state rises sharply. Excitement flashes in his eyes and he lets out a confident laugh. Seeing that, Zhu Shen sneers. Laughing before death? Go laugh in the underworld. He charges again, blade crashing down with crushing force. At that moment, the pill effect triggers, restoring 3000 HP after he escapes the continuous assault. His HP bar shoots back to full. When the blade falls, he stands completely restored and calm. Now your attacks mean nothing. Zhu Shen freezes, unable to understand how his strike was neutralized so easily. That pill is no ordinary one, but it must have limits. You can only last for a while, Lin Jiken replies calmly. True, but before it ends, killing you is enough. He suddenly closes the distance and sweeps his sword, cutting away 180 HP. Zhu Shen retreats into defense, unease rising. The sudden power spike is real. He needs to stall until the pill wears off. As Zhu Shen shifts to defense, Lin Jiken feels himself improving, as if touching the core of Sword Dao. His sword becomes sharper and more decisive. In that instant, he comprehends another layer of sword intent, increasing his sword aptitude by 5%. Blow after blow lands, damage numbers flashing, the highest reaching 140, pushing Zhu Shen to the brink. A ruthless glint appears in Zhu Shen's eyes. This opponent is no ordinary disciple. If not killed now, he will become a future disaster. Having decided, Zhu Shen prepares his ultimate move, Soul Chaser. Black energy coils around him and gathers on his blade. He roars and slashes down with terrifying pressure. The moment Lin Jiken senses the killing intent, he uses his movement art to dodge. The attack hits empty air. Sweat pours down Zhu Shen's forehead. The target is gone. Before he can turn, he is shocked to see Lin Jiken already at his side. A flash of sword light presses against his throat. One thrust pierces straight through. His HP bar empties instantly. He collapses, eyes wide in disbelief, breath fading away. As Zhu Shen falls, Lin Jiken finally relaxes, exhaling deeply as if waking from a nightmare. He quickly collects the loot from both brothers. A system notification appears. Hell-level mission completed. Return to the sect for rewards. He nods slightly. The harvest this time is huge. Once done here, he will head back. Suddenly, he pauses, remembering something important to handle before returning. The next morning, at the market of Fengku City, Lin Jiken strolls through the streets, thinking, this is his first official mission for the sect. Bringing a small gift to his master would show gratitude. Sincerity matters more than value. Earning favor is never a bad thing. But what should he choose? Passing by the shops, he stops at a store called Jade Pavilion. An idea forms. Few can resist fine jewelry. A jade hairpin might be the perfect gift for his master. After settling everything, Lin Jiken returns to Tianyan Sword Sect and heads straight to the mission hall. He presents the proof with both hands. I am here to submit the mission. The female disciple freezes in shock. Little brother, you already cleared a hell-level mission? The hall erupts instantly. A hell-level mission? Only late chi refining dares take that. The rewards are real? After careful inspection, the female disciple nods. As expected of an inner hall elite, your future is limitless. I wish you a smooth path of cultivation. Here are your rewards. 100 low-grade spirit stones. Even Lin Jiken is surprised by the amount. The crowd shifts from shock to envy. 100 spirit stones? I saved for months for a few dozen. And look at that, 100 contribution points. Several disciples rush over to befriend him. Brother, you are amazing. What realm are you now? Taking disciples? Joined any guild? Come to our Kanglang guild. Handsome, take me with you. Lin Jiken cups his fists politely. Thank you all, but I have urgent matters. I will take my leave. He leaves quickly, but the crowd still chases after him. Surrounded by noise, he finally raises his voice. Stop following me. As he steps into the inner sect area, 2 disciples block the crowd. Do not disturb inner sect disciples, especially the master's direct disciple. The crowd gasps again. He is already intersect? What a boss. Big shot, let me follow you. By then, Lin Jiken has slipped away and arrives at Leng Feiyan's residence. He bows deeply. Master, your disciple has completed the mission and returned. Leng Feiyan raises a brow. I heard you cleared a hell level mission? I told you to pick something difficult, not jump straight to hell level. If you failed, you would die and damage the sect. Do you understand your position? Facing the scolding, Lin Jiken lowers his gaze. This disciple was wrong. Master's teachings are correct. She waves lightly, her tone softening. Forget it. What was the opponent's cultivation? He explains everything. I thought he was only chi refining. I did not expect his brother to be foundation establishment. She frowns. And you still killed a foundation establishment cultivator? With your own strength? He shakes his head. I dare not exaggerate. It was mainly thanks to the pill Master gave me. Otherwise, I would not have survived. Leng Feiyan exhales softly. The gap between realms is vast. Be cautious in the future. You are the most talented disciple in the sect. Understand? She flicks her hand and a talisman floats before him. Take this. Use it only in life or death danger. Do not waste it. In her heart, she admits his combat talent is rare. Lin Jiken receives it. The system displays. Primordial Spirit Talisman. Contains a trace of Leng Feiyan's spirit. One-time use. Cannot activate while under direct attack. He cannot hide his joy. Thank you, Master. A sense of security fills him. With such backing, he must seize every chance. She takes out 2 more pills. These are the promised top-grade chi gathering pills. Since you dared accept a hell-level mission and succeeded, I reward you 1 more chi gathering pill. Breakthrough soon. Lin Jiken accepts respectfully. I will not disappoint you. Leng Feiyan nods. What you lack now is sword technique. The scripture pavilion has many. Go choose and learn. Seeing her about to leave, Lin Jiken quickly speaks. Master, please wait. I have a small gift. I could not afford anything precious. Only a simple jade hairpin. I hope you do not dislike it. Leng Feiyan glances at it. Her eyes flicker for a moment, but her expression stays calm. Focus on cultivation. No need for such formalities. With that, she leaves gracefully. Lin Jiken stands there, slightly stunned. Seems like this master's thoughts do not fully match her cold exterior. At that moment, the system notifies him. Leng Feiyan's favorability increases by 5, reaching 10. Feels like old friends at first sight. Seeing that, Lin Jiken feels uplifted. So her cold attitude was only on the surface. The plan to rely on his master just moved 1 step forward. He leaves her residence. Before he goes far, a loud explosion erupts ahead. He stops instantly. What just happened? Thick smoke fills the area. Several disciples stagger around, coughing hard. At the center stands Elder Tianqing. He stomps in frustration. Failed again? Refining beauty-retaining pills is harder than Tianyuan pills? I refuse to believe it. He turns to the stunned disciples. I am Tianqing, one of the 12 Grand Elders, Master of Alchemy. I urgently need a medicinal catalyst. Who will fetch it? The system announces a hell-level mission. Find 1 branch of Requiem grass before dawn. It only appears on the Eagle Spirit Beast in Kanglan Medicine Valley. The disciples shake their heads. Hell-level and costly travel. Too dangerous. No one dares. While they hesitate, Lin Jiken steps forward. Disciple Lin Jiken accepts the mission. The crowd gasps in shock. Elder Tianqing strokes his beard and laughs. Oh, Leng Girl's direct disciple? Not bad. Lin Jiken calculates silently. This old man is a Grand Master Alchemist. Gaining his favor means huge future benefits. After accepting, he heads straight to Kanglan Medicine Valley. By the time he arrives, night has fallen. He lights a lantern and searches in the dark. As he observes, he recalls past experience. This spirit beast hides near dense herbs. It should be close. Soon he spots a group fighting a boss from afar. Shouts echo non-stop. He nods. They must have found the Eagle Spirit Beast first. He decides to watch and wait. From a distance, he sees several girls knocked flying. The fight looks rough. He judges quickly. With this lineup, they cannot suppress a boss of this level. The outcome will not be good. He considers negotiating and luring the boss away. At that moment, a girl notices him and calls out. A familiar figure turns around. It is Wan Ling and her team. They approach. Lin Jiken smiles. I have a mission related to this spirit beast. Can you let me handle it? A white-haired girl steps forward and asks Wan Ling. You know him? Wan Ling nods. This is the expert I told you about. The one who soloed the wild boar king in the newbie village. The news spread across the server. Even our sect's blacksmith mission clue came from him. The white-haired girl thinks for a moment. He is probably here for a mission or skill too. But this boss is crucial for our guild. We cannot give it up. Wan Ling says, "Let me talk to him." She walks over apologetically. "Lin, sorry. This spirit beast is our guild leader's mission. We must capture it. Can you wait for its respawn later?" Lin Jikin shrugs calmly. "Just as I thought. You will not give it up. But with your current situation, you may not even reach the respawn stage." He looks toward the boss. Its HP is around half. Suddenly, the spirit beast flaps its wings and releases a strange move. Thick smoke spreads everywhere. Chaos erupts. Shouts fill the air. 3 players are knocked back instantly, their HP dropping sharply as they cry for help. Lin Jikin speaks up. At 50% HP, it releases a stun powder that drains stamina and extends cooldowns. "Handle it yourselves." Wan Ling is stunned. "What did you say?" The white-haired girl grits her teeth. "Ignore him. Focus damage." She rushes in and uses a binding skill to restrain the boss, then follows up with a fire spell. An explosion sounds. The boss HP drops to 36%. Watching this, Lin Jikin sighs inwardly. This will only enrage it. When fury rises, its speed and damage spike. Just as he predicts, the boss enters berserk mode. Its eyes turn red as it charges straight at the female mage. Wan Ling screams, "Watch out." But it is too late. A sweeping strike from its sharp beak slashes the white-haired mage, dropping her HP to critical levels. Even while getting blasted away, she still forced out the Rockfall Rain spell. Lin Jikin frowned. "Hey, what are you doing? The more you spam it, the angrier it gets. I know how to deal with this bone eagle. But if Tasonic Grass drops, I take it. Deal?" With no time to think, they nodded fast. "Yes, please help us." Lin Jikin spoke calmly. "First, its aggro is locked on you. Stop casting Rockfall Rain. Look at your HP, it's almost empty. If it recovers a bit, you're done." He adjusted her stance. "That skill isn't used like this. Combine it with Earth Immortal Restraint. Your control skill has short cooldown. Use it first, then Rockfall Rain. The hold will be stronger." She followed his lead. The bind activated, the boss froze, and her team bursted down. Lin Jikin nodded. "Good. Keep distance and maintain control." Taking the chance, Wan Ling rushed in and unleashed a flurry of attacks. The white-haired girl beamed. "So that's how it works. Thank you." Suddenly, a shout echoed from afar. "Blood Slaughter Guild is here." A group stormed in and demanded everyone stop fighting and back off. Recognizing them, Wan Ling turned pale. "Guild leader, they're notorious. We're outnumbered. What now?" Guild leader Ye Ying tightened her lips. "We don't retreat. If we give in today, they'll push harder tomorrow." Wan Ling sighed. "We were so close to killing the Bone Eagle." Lin Jikin spoke casually. "I can finish the Bone Eagle. Besides Tasonic Grass, I pick one extra piece of loot." They exchanged looks. Then Yu Ying nodded. "Deal. I'll leave some people to help." He shook his head. "No need. Focus on them. Leave this to me." They froze. "You're doing it alone?" A Blood Slaughter member laughed. "Solo a latest Chi refinement boss? Dream on." He signaled his men to attack. Yo Ying's side charged as well. The 2 guilds clashed instantly. Dust filled the air and trees crashed down. Blood Slaughter kept mocking, looking down on their opponents. Yu Ying's members were pushed back again and again. The enemy leader grinned arrogantly. He claimed they would wipe them out in minutes. His tone reeked of pride in his guild's power. Then someone suddenly pointed at the sky. "Boss, there's an announcement. Someone just killed the first boss." The system flashed. Lin Jikin has slain the first Chi refinement boss, gaining fame, charm, and a medal. The crowd was stunned. The Bone Eagle is dead? They turned and saw Lin Jikin standing calmly, brushing off his hands. "Yo Ying, boss is done. Come check the drops." Blood Slaughter was still in shock when their leader snapped in rage. "Kill Lin Jikin. Take the loot and crush his growth now." One man stepped forward eagerly. Calling himself a warrior, he threw a punch with full force. He charged in, but Lin Jikin simply sidestepped and countered. The missed punch left the man stunned. Before he could react, a sword pierced through him. His HP plummeted with a scream. Lin Jikin recalled his past life as a spell cultivator. He had faced countless ambushes. This kind of fist technique meant nothing. Feng Shuang stood frozen. How was his reaction so fast? Before he recovered, Lin Jikin struck again. The blade hit a vital point, dealing fatal damage and ending him instantly. Feng Shuang collapsed on the spot. Blood Slaughter turned pale. He hadn't even used a skill, yet the damage was terrifying. Lin Jikin casually picked up the loot Feng Shuang dropped. He spoke calmly, but with pressure in his tone. "I avoid trouble, not because I'm weak. I don't care about guild fights. But touch me and face the consequences." Blood Slaughter burned with anger. "This guy's insane. 4 of us together. Has only mid-stage Chi refinement. What's there to fear?" Lin Jikin just shook his head, almost helpless at their stubbornness. His figure blurred forward, sword light flashing. 4 clean strikes. All 4 dropped before they could react. He looked at the rest and raised his blade slightly. "Anyone else want to try?" The Blood Slaughter leader turned pale. "Retreat." They fled in panic, shouting threats about coming back. Yu Ying's guild leader stepped up and bowed. "Master Lin, thank you. Without you, we wouldn't have survived." Lin Jikin waved it off. "No need. Small matter. The Bone Eagle is done. Here's the loot." At their feet lay a pile of items, with Tasonic Grass standing out the most. "As agreed, Tasonic Grass is mine. I'll take one more item. No problem, right?" The two girls stared in shock. The drop rate was insanely high. Jiang Luoshi glanced at him. You killed the boss. We barely helped. It should all be yours. Lin Jikan shook his head. No need. I'll just take one extra. That's enough. With that, he turned to leave. The two exchanged a quick look. Wan Ling opened the system panel. A transfer notification popped up for Lin Jikan. 5 million. He froze for a second, stunned by the generosity. The guild leader stepped forward and offered her hand. Let me introduce myself. Jiang Luoshi, leader of Ye Ying Guild. Lin Jishan shook her hand and nodded. Lin Jikan. The name Jiang Luoshi suddenly felt familiar to him. Memories slowly surfaced. In his past life, she ranked second on the Grand Mage leaderboard, only below him. She was also the daughter of the richest man in Yonghai City. That explained the money. Lost in thought, he subconsciously stepped closer, his hand still holding hers. Wan Ling coughed meaningfully. Master Lin, that's enough. No need to take advantage. Lin Jikan snapped out of it and quickly let go. I was just thinking. Nothing else. Wan Ling frowned slightly, clearly unconvinced. To break the awkwardness, Lin Jikan turned away. If there's nothing else, I'll be going. See you around. Jiang Luoshi smiled at Wan Ling. Your friend isn't bad, Wan Ling scoffed. Not bad? He was clearly taking advantage. She secretly observed Jiang Luoshi's reaction. Seeing the faint embarrassment on her face, Wan Ling grew even more suspicious. Jiang Luoshi said softly, forget it, let's go, and reward everyone who joined today with 100,000 each. In the distance, a girl had witnessed everything. She relaxed and let out a quiet breath. It was Liu Xiaozi, the famous streamer. She stepped out and started her live stream with a bright smile. Hello everyone. Today Xiaozi brings you an intense guild battle with plenty of drama. Gifts and comments flooded in. Some viewers asked about the man who killed the boss. Others already recognized him. Xiaozi nodded, eyes full of admiration. Yes, he soloed a latest-stage Qi refinement boss. His strength is unbelievable, and has incredibly charming. She declared confidently on stream. In my eyes, Lin Jikan is the strongest in 8 desolations. From now on, he's not just my idol, has my ideal type. The chat exploded. Some grew jealous and accused him of cheating. Others agreed his strength was too abnormal. A few even attacked Xiaozi. Elsewhere, a young man watching the stream slammed his fist on the table in rage. Breathing heavily, he snarled threats, swearing he wouldn't let Lin Jikan off if they met in-game. His uncontrolled swing knocked over a vase, shattering it on the floor. Back in the game, Lin Jikan returned with Tasonic Grass to report the quest. Disciple Lin Jikan has completed the task. Elder, please inspect. Hearing this, Elder Tianqing turned around, eyes satisfied. You're back. Place the Tasonic Grass here. After checking it carefully, he nodded and handed over a small box. Well done. Your effort won't go unrewarded. Lin Jikan accepted it respectfully. Thank you, Elder. Then he opened it. The system interface displayed the item's name and detailed attributes. He stored it away, then suddenly asked, Elder, would you like to know how to refine the beauty pill? I heard you've tried many times but never succeeded. Elder Tianqing paused, curious. I've tried many times and failed. You actually know the method? Lin Jikan pretended to think, then slowly listed the ingredients and ratios from memory. Elder Tianqing's eyes widened in shock. His excitement rose instantly. He decided to test it right away. He asked Lin Jikan to stand by and correct any mistakes. Lin Jikan nodded. The furnace roared as the process continued. The air grew tense. Suddenly, light burst from the furnace. A pill shot out. Elder Tianqing exclaimed, it worked. He opened the furnace, took out the pill, and handed it to Lin Jikan with joy. Holding it, Lin Jikan felt satisfied. He knew how rare this item was. He bowed. Thank you, Elder. He planned to gift it to his master. Just as he turned to leave, he was stopped. Elder Tianqing stroked his beard and asked if he wanted to study alchemy. A system notification popped up with a choice. Lin Jikan was briefly surprised. At that moment, a familiar cold voice echoed. Her presence alone felt overwhelming. Leng Feian appeared, proud and composed. Lin Jikan bowed slightly. Master, why are you here? He quickly clarified to avoid any misunderstanding about taking another master. Elder Tianqing also explained awkwardly. Seeing this, Lin Jikan finally relaxed. But Leng Feian's voice rang out, cold and firm, making her stance clear. Her gaze toward Lin Jikan carried a silent warning. Under that look, he felt uneasy, afraid he had displeased her. Elder Tianqing laughed heartily and nodded in agreement with her decision. With a wave of his sleeve, he left, leaving only master and disciple. Leng Feian turned around. Return to the Sword Palace. I have something to say. Hearing the chill in her tone, Lin Jikan lowered his head, unease rising. He sensed trouble coming. Back at the Sword Palace, Leng Feian rested her chin on her hand. If you're dissatisfied with me, we can end this relationship. Go find someone else. Her light words carried heavy pressure. Lin Jikan was shaken. She had misunderstood. He knelt immediately. Master, please don't. If I'm expelled, I'll have nowhere to go. She calmly asked one short question. Lin Jikan hurried to admit fault, his tone full of regret. After hearing him out, her expression softened. Feeling the tension ease, he silently vowed to do better. He cupped his fists respectfully and spoke with utmost sincerity. His words showed loyalty and no intention of leaving. The system displayed an increase in favorability. Relief and joy filled Lin Jiken's heart. Leng Feiyan waved her hand lightly. "Since you know your mistake, I won't pursue it." Lin Jiken quickly thanked her. Seizing the chance, he took out a prepared box and offered it with a smile. Leng Feiyan looked surprised when she opened it. He immediately explained its origin. She listened with an indifferent expression, as if refusing. Lin Jiken grew anxious. He hadn't expected her to decline. He gently placed the box into her hand. His tone turned firm. "This is my sincere intention." He explained the deeper meaning behind his gesture. Hearing this, Leng Feiyan let out a rare soft laugh. The sight left Lin Jiken momentarily stunned. He quickly regained composure and urged her to accept it. She looked at him for a moment, then nodded. The system announced a significant boost in favorability. She stood up, lightly stroking the pillbox, and said she would grant him a suitable cultivation technique. Lin Jiken felt thrilled. His choice had paid off greatly. She gestured for him to follow. Walking behind her, his eyes caught the ornament in her hair, and a strange warmth flickered in his chest. In a quiet chamber, Lin Jiken sat cultivating as the system displayed progress and new skills. His status panel appeared, showing updated stats and gear. He gripped his sword and tested the newly learned move, feeling power surge through him. Surprise flashed across his face at its sheer force. He quickly evaluated its combat value, already calculating future use. Just then, a familiar voice called from outside. He snapped back to reality and stepped out. Nangang Yue hesitated, then spoke casually. "I need your help. The sword sect requires 3 missions per realm." She explained that her breakthrough was near, but she hadn't completed enough tasks. Lin Jiken looked surprised and asked why. Embarrassed, she admitted she got distracted reading novels. Only 1 mission remained, and it required 2 people. Her eyes were full of hope. Remembering how she helped him before, Lin Jiken agreed without hesitation. Joy lit up her face, and she naturally grabbed his hand. The system showed favorability, increasing as they set off together. The scene shifted to Worry-Free Village. They stepped into the area. Nangang Yue quickly explained the situation in a serious tone. Lin Jiken listened, recalling memories of this place. Deeper inside, they found an ancient well beside a massive tree. The surroundings felt gloomy and unsettling. Strange sounds echoed from the bottom of the well. A murderous spirit suddenly emerged. Nangang Yu immediately took a defensive stance and warned him. She reassured Lin Jiken, then charged forward. 1 clean strike destroyed it, but more spirits swarmed in. Lin Jiken realized the situation wasn't simple. There were too many. Nangang Yu's face grew grim as she guessed the villagers' fate. She vowed to destroy them all and find the mastermind, then rushed in again. Lin Jiken followed. Nangang Yue unleashed her technique. Lin Jiken coordinated, wiping out a large wave of enemies. Her anger showed clearly in her words. Her determination sharpened with every strike. Watching her fight, Lin Jiken couldn't help but admire her. Suddenly, a dark force gathered in the distance. He shouted, a warning. Nangang Yue reacted instantly and neutralized the attack. Lin Jiken rushed over to check on her. She confirmed she was fine. At that moment, a nearby house collapsed in a cloud of dust. From the rubble came a sinister voice. A strange man stepped out, his aura making the air heavy. Sensing his strength, both were shocked. The man spoke confidently about his newfound power. He began preparing his next move. Nangang Yue stepped forward to shield Lin Jiken and told him to stay back. The enemy grew furious at being blocked, his tone full of cruelty. The battle exploded instantly. Attacks so fast they blurred the surroundings. Pouring all her cultivation into one strike, a blazing pillar of light erupted around Nangang Yue as she shouted, "Take this." From below, Lin Jiken watched closely, thinking these high-level clashes were terrifying. At mid-stage chi refinement, he had to stay out of it. One mistake and he'd respawn back at Novice Village. As the fight dragged on, the demonic cultivator grew wary. This girl isn't simple. If this continues, he'll have to summon the demon infant. He pulled out a strange gourd and smashed it onto the ground. Nangang Yu's expression changed. Is he summoning the demon infant? Junior brother, be careful. Thick smoke poured out, instantly covering everything. From the mist, a massive blood-red creature emerged with a deafening roar. The system displayed, Ghost Mother Blood Infant, Elite Rank, Mid-Stage Foundation Establishment, HP 7000 by 7000, Attack 88, Defense 60, Speed 70, Skills, Night Whale Long Tongue, Blood Maw Scream, Flying Blood Bats. The creature let out a horrifying screech and suddenly lashed out its long tongue. At that critical moment, a figure rushed in and landed a fatal strike, slicing off 1600 HP. It was Lin Jiken. Senior sister, focus on the demonic cultivator. I'll hold this monster back. The blood infant rolled in rage, screaming madly. I'll tear you apart and devour you whole. Without hesitation, Lin Jiken unleashed Frost Moonslash, cutting away another 1260 HP. Its massive body trembled, then shattered into countless red bats. Phase 2 activated. Blood infant, flying blood bats. A mental debuff triggered, reducing his movement effectiveness by 30%. The bats swarmed from all sides with piercing shrieks. Lin Jiken frowned and steadied his mind. He couldn't lose focus. He closed his eyes, circulated his energy, gripped his sword, and shouted, "Phoenix Feather Dance." A radiant aura burst around him as sword lights flared like blazing feathers. The strikes tore through the bats, exploding them into crimson fragments. The system announced a defense nullification effect for 15 seconds. He was stunned. A profound-grade martial skill truly outclassed Frost Moonslash. On the other side, Nangongyue unleashed her finishing blow, blasting the demonic cultivator to the ground. Clutching his chest, he coughed in agony. "Damn it, I refuse to accept this." Watching her, Lin Jiken realized he had underestimated her. Beneath her gentle look was terrifying strength. Grinding his teeth, the cultivator hurled a strange wooden shard at Nangongyue. "Even if I die, you won't leave unharmed." Nangongyue raised her sword to split it, confused. "What is this?" The wood split apart, releasing a strange mist filled with tiny writhing creatures. Lin Jiken shouted, "Senior sister, cover your nose, don't breathe it in. It's charm parasites." Too late. The mist seeped into her body. She cried out in pain. Her body weakened and collapsed. Lin Jiken rushed forward in panic. He caught her, voice trembling. "Senior sister, are you okay?" Her face flushed red as she turned away. "Don't look at me." Lin Jiken shut his eyes at once. "I won't look," but his thoughts raced. Charm parasites stimulate desire. She must have never encountered this before. Nangongyu's voice turned hazy. "Junior brother." The system flashed. Favorability skyrocketed to 92. Bond of life and death. Lin Jiken felt his face burn. "This isn't real. It's just the parasite's effect," he muttered. She whispered weakly, "Junior brother, I feel awful. Help me." As she moved closer, their lips were only inches apart. Lin Jiken froze. A dangerous thought crossed his mind. If I take this chance, no, when she wakes up, she'll know. Her favorability would crash, maybe even turn into hatred. He couldn't ruin everything for one reckless moment. He took a deep breath, pushed her away gently, and turned aside. "I have to find a cure." A memory surfaced. Deep beneath the ancient well was a rare pill rumored to counter charm parasites. He knew the well was filled with deadly formations, but he couldn't hesitate. Gripping his sword, he shouted, "Senior sister, endure a little longer. I'll go down the well and find the antidote." Then he rushed toward it. At the ancient well, Lin Jiken lit a torch and carefully descended. Piles of white dust covered the ground, likely the remains of villagers. The air was chilling. Suddenly, a sinister cold aura struck from behind, draining his HP. Sweat formed on his forehead. "I have to find that pill fast, or I won't last." After moving deeper, he spotted a faint light ahead. There it is. The antidote must be inside that blood-red jar. Without hesitation, he charged straight through the thick fog. At that moment, a terrifying mass of black energy gathers above him. Lin Jiken instantly activates his spirit shield. It blocks part of it, but the overlapping lightning still sends chills down his spine. Sweating, he curses under his breath. "Damn it, this yin lightning isn't just one strike. It's a whole barrage. Grab the pill bottle and get out now." He snatches the pill bottle and turns to escape. Behind him, the yin lightning keeps chasing like it won't let him go. As the bolts close in, Lin Jiken bursts upward with everything he has and shoots out of the well in seconds. But the moment he emerges, a bolt hits him. He cries out as the system deducts 4,000 HP. His body is blasted far away and crashes straight into Nangongyue. Yin energy invades his body, pushing him into critical condition, and he blacks out. In his last clear moment, breathing heavy, he presses the antidote into her hand and mutters, "Senior sister, this is the cure." The words barely leave his mouth before he coughs up blood. His body goes limp, completely unconscious. After a while, Nangongyue slowly wakes up, the poison already neutralized. She touches her forehead, confused about what just happened and why her body feels so weak. When she notices Lin Jiken lying on top of her, their clothes in disarray, she freezes, wild thoughts flooding her mind. Her face burns red, eyes turning misty. "Don't tell me we just..." Flustered images flash through her head and she screams, "You beast! You bastard, Lin Jiken, I hate you." She slaps his unconscious face hard, making him groan in pain. The system announces her favorability drops to 0, his face visibly swollen. If he wakes up, he'll feel wronged for sure. Still sobbing, Nangongyue accidentally spots a pill bottle nearby. Her memory clears. She recalls being hit by the charm parasite, and Lin Jiken pushing her away before jumping into the ancient well. She suddenly goes still, so that's what happened. He risked his life to enter that deadly formation just to save her. Her gaze falls on Lin Jiken's motionless body. A deep wound is visible on his back, blood still clotted and fresh. Seeing that, her emotions surge. "Junior brother, were you badly injured by the formation? Senior sister misunderstood you." Wiping her tears, she lifts him up. "We have to return to the sect now, so grandfather can treat you." "Junior brother, hold on." Scene shift. She carries Lin Jiken back to Tianyin Sword Sect, drawing attention as players and NPCs whisper, "Isn't that fairy Nangongyue? Why is she carrying a player? Who is that guy to be treated like that? I wish it were me." The disciples gossip. Junior sister Nangang is carrying a man into the sect. Isn't that the new disciple Lin Jiken? This is outrageous. A man in a Dao robe watches with displeasure, fists clenched, muttering, Lin Jiken, how dare you get that close to her? That man is Chu Tianhan, the senior brother of the sword sect. Ignoring all the whispers, Nangang Yue pushes forward, sweat covering her face, whispering, Junior brother, we're almost there, hang on. In a quiet room, Lin Jiken slowly opens his eyes, his body heavy. He looks around, wondering where he is, realizing He's been out for a while, then notices someone standing nearby with arms crossed. It's not Elder Tianqing, but Elder Tianyuan of Tianyan Sword Sect. His powerful aura makes Lin Jiken tense. He must be the one who saved him. He forces himself up and says, Thank you, senior, for saving me. I am Lin Jiken, a Sword Sect disciple. May I know your name? I will never forget this favor. The old man waves it off, no need for courtesy. Tianyuan's gaze turns stern. My name is Tianyuan, surname Nangang, and I am Nangang Yu's grandfather. Hearing that, Lin Jiken quickly connects the dots. Anyone with the title Tian in this game is no ordinary figure. Maybe this is a relationship worth holding on to. He immediately bows respectfully. This life-saving grace will stay in my heart forever. Tianyuan snorts and walks past. I don't need your gratitude, just remember one thing. Lin Jiken gulps and asks carefully, Please enlighten me, elder. His eyes turn icy as he warns, Stay away from my granddaughter. If you dare cross the line, I won't show mercy. Those words carry heavy pressure, making Lin Jiken's heart sink. Before he can finish, a girl's voice cuts in, Grandpa, you promised you wouldn't scare him anymore. It's Nangang Yu at the door, frowning slightly, clearly unhappy he broke his word. Facing his granddaughter, Tianyuan instantly softens and laughs it off. I was just teasing him, he saved you. How could I trouble him? Nangang Yue ignores that and walks to the bedside, her voice gentle. Junior brother, are your injuries better now? Feeling Tianyuan's sharp gaze behind him, Lin Jiken stiffens and breaks into sweat. He exhales lightly. Thanks to senior sister, I'm much better. She nods and explains how she carried him back for her grandfather to heal. Any delay would have been fatal. He lowers his head, a bit embarrassed. It's all thanks to you. I don't know how to repay this. She looks away awkwardly. Why say that, between us? There's no need, Lin Jiken grins really, and almost says more. But Tianyuan's warning glare makes him stop instantly. Startled, he quickly shifts away and coughs. No, nothing. Nangang Yue softens. Actually, I should thank you. If you hadn't risked your life for the antidote, I'd be dead. And I even misunderstood you before, junior brother. I'm truly sorry. As she keeps talking, Lin Jiken inches farther away, thinking the closer he gets, the more dangerous it is, yet his eyes still drift toward her. In her gaze, he senses unusual tenderness. The system shows favorability at 32. Suddenly, a notification pops up. Favorability jumps to 62, reaching mutual affection, shocking him. His thoughts begin to wander far. He can't help imagining how this relationship might change. But Tianyuan's loud cough behind them cuts it short. Even as he coughs, they keep chatting. Lin Jiken asks if Grandpa needs rare herbs. Nangang Yue smiles. Just rest is enough. Hearing that, Tianyuan grows annoyed. Since you're awake, follow me. I'll reward you with a spirit beast. Take it and leave. Leaving the quiet room, Lin Jiken realizes this is the elder's private residence. They walk along a narrow path to the back. Soon a tall wall appears marked Spirit Beast Park. Inside lies a vast forest filled with rare spiritual herbs. As he walks, Lin Jiken is stunned by the sheer number of spirit beasts and starts planning his choice. Tianyuan turns proudly. How is it? Not worse than the beast-taming sect. Lin Jiken quickly praises the place. Tianyuan looks displeased. Just impressive. Have you seen somewhere better? Lin Jiken stays silent, noting the old man's competitive nature. An idea sparks in his mind to provoke him a little more. He says seriously he heard the beast-taming sect is unmatched in scale. This place might not compare. Tianyuan immediately snaps back that they only win in numbers. Here it's all about quality. Lin Jiken pretends to apologize and casually notes has only seen chi refinement beasts so far. That sets Tianyuan off. The deeper you go, the stronger they are, and he decides to show him in person. He grabs Lin Jiken by the collar and drags him forward. Though he acts reluctant, inside he's pleased his plan worked. As they go deeper, stronger beasts appear, foundation establishment, core formation, even golden core. Tianyuan boasts they have every type imaginable, some too special to display. Lin Jiken pretends curiosity about even higher levels, making Tianyuan pause. At that moment, Nangang Yue leans in and whispers that Grandpa was exaggerating. The strongest beast here is only at peak foundation establishment. Lin Jiken nods in understanding. The reveal leaves Tianyuan awkward, like his weakness was exposed. He coughs to cover it up and quickly ends the topic, telling him to pick a beast at his level and leave. Nangang Yue looks unhappy and says he should be given a higher level one, making Tianyuan even more annoyed. Before he can react, she grabs Lin Jiken's hand and pulls him forward, the intimacy making Tianyuan fume. Meanwhile, Lin Jiken feels secretly thrilled and follows her into the foundation establishment area. Nangang Yue starts introducing beasts suitable for him. Faced with so many options, Lin Jikin feels slightly overwhelmed. Suddenly, a small creature rolls toward him. Seeing its round body and black and white fur, he instantly realizes what it is. It's the legendary Iron Eater beast, extremely rare, and if raised well, it can reach terrifying heights. His eyes light up and he chooses it immediately. But just as he decides, Tianyuan appears and stops him, clearly against it. He explains this beast has huge potential and can't be handed out casually. Nangongyue snatches it back and gives it to Lin Jikin, insisting it suits him. She urges him to accept it and form the contract. Tianyuan reacts at once, trying to take it back. But Nangongyue blocks him, saying they must keep their word. She turns and tells Lin Jikin to hurry and complete the bond. He bites his finger without hesitation, then presses his blood onto the Iron Eater beast's forehead. Nangongyue calmly guides him to relax his mind and connect with it, then teases Grandpa that it's too late to regret now, leaving Tianyuan rubbing his head in defeat. Lin Jikin keeps his hand on its forehead as the blood slowly seeps in, closing his eyes to search for the link. In an instant, his consciousness falls into the beast's deep mental space. A proud voice echoes, "A tiny chi refinement brat wants to be my master, I refuse, get lost." Lin Jikin raises a brow and replies calmly, "Follow me and I'll take you everywhere, let you taste the finest delicacies and rare spiritual herbs." Memories of his past life flash by. He knows how gluttonous this species is. He continues, "Have you tried bamboo blossom in Nangongyue continent? One stalk restores a year of spiritual power, and the mystic fruit of East Penglai adds 100 years of lifespan. Ever tasted it?" Hearing these exotic names, the Iron Eater beast hesitates, curiosity and drool rising. "Is that true? Tell me more." Lin Jikin smiles inside and presses on. "There are countless treasures. Follow me and well travel, feast, and enjoy everything." The Iron Eater beast panics. "Stop talking. I'm drooling if I follow you. I really get to eat those." Lin Jikin clenches his fist confidently. "Of course I keep my word." The beast bumps fists with him. "Fine, I'll follow you. From now on, you're my master." Outside, light flashes on its forehead. Contract complete. Iron Eater beast, unnamed, owner Lin Jikin. Early Foundation establishment. HP 8000, attack 90, defense 85, speed 65. Skills bite, furious thunder, thunderburst strike. Lin Jikin beams and strokes its soft fur. "Good. You're mine now, don't worry. You'll never lack good food." Just as Master and Beast celebrate, the system announces, in 10 minutes, 8 Desolations will enter its first update. All players must log out for 24 hours. Lin Jikin frowns. In his past life, this update came a month after launch. Now it's early. Is the fusion between the game and reality speeding up? Not wanting to waste time, he turns to Nangongyue, "Senior sister, thank you for today. I'll log off to cultivate before the update. See you in a few days." He already knows he must prepare in the real world. Nangongyue looks reluctant. "You're leaving already? Fine, take care. I'll find you in a few days," he nods. "Yes, senior sister." Lin Jikin logs out and returns to reality. He picks up his phone and quietly checks his messages. "It's from Guchushue, Shaoshen. My birthday is in a few days. My hospital colleagues are gathering. Come if you're free." Lin Jikin stands still, memories flooding back. He realizes he once wronged 2 women, Renlan and Guchushue. Chushu is 3 years older, technically his cousin, though their families aren't that close. As kids, she often visited. When others mocked her braces, he was always the one protecting her. A rainy day flashes back, 3 kids surrounding her laughing, while she curls up crying. Lin Jikin rushes in, shouting, "Dare bully Sister Chushua, fight me instead." He punches the crew cut boy. "As long as I'm here, no one touches her." But another kid grabs his collar. Hez shoved to the ground. "Again you, want another beating." The 3 gang up on him, yet even in pain he shields Chushua while she watches helplessly. Through tears she whispers softly, "Shaoshen." After fights like that, his body is always covered in bruises. The clashes leave him with plenty of injuries, but it also brings them closer. She grows attached to him, and he receives her quiet care in return. Even after growing up and living apart, she keeps calling, and after his parents died, she becomes a light in his darkest days. Once, he reads her diary. October 3rd, she plans his birthday gift, and wonders if hell like the sneakers. By October 7th, her feelings are clearer, along with fear of being rejected. That's when he understands Hez more than a brother to her. In his past life, obsessed with Guo Jie, he ignores her feelings. Only after hearing of her marriage, and later her death from depression, does regret crush him. Now Lin Jikin lands in Beijing after a long flight. He checks the hospital where Chushui works, remembering that after her birthday party last time, she slowly distanced herself. This time, he won't let history repeat. With that resolve, he shoulders his backpack and heads to the hospital. Walking down the corridor, he searches for the gynecology department where she works. Suddenly, an emergency patient is rushed in, stretcher flying past with urgent shouts. Behind them follows a well-dressed woman, Yang Yiro, chairwoman of Haiyun Yang fan group, panicked and crying for her father. Lin Jikin steps aside, but when he sees the old man's face, he pauses. Instinctively using knowledge from 8 desolations, he taps several acupoints and adjusts the man's breathing to buy time. The old man suddenly gasps and regains faint consciousness. Yang Yiru is overjoyed, and the doctors stare in shock. Without delay, they rush him into surgery, knowing that brief awakening raises survival chances. Yang Yiru grabs Lin Jiken's hand, begging him to save her father, promising any price. He explains he only delayed the crisis. The outcome depends on the doctors. At best, the old man gains half a month. Hearing that, she stands frozen, tears welling up. She softly asks to lean on his shoulder for a moment. Exhaustion fills her voice. Lin Jiken understands that feeling. He stays silent and lets her cry against him. Deep down, he thinks, if this man could survive until he reaches a higher realm in the game, maybe there would be a way to truly save him. After a while, she lifts her head and softly apologizes for wetting his shirt. He gently tells her to stay by her father's side, so she won't have regrets. She takes out a black card and her business card, insisting he keep them and contact her anytime. He accepts, slightly surprised by her status, but doesn't refuse her gratitude. She nods and leaves, calling him Little Miracle Doctor, making him mutter at the nickname. Watching her figure fade, he finds the title amusing. He's not that young anymore. He heads to the gynecology department, feeling a bit rushed after the emergency. A nurse steps out from the pharmacy counter. Her familiar figure makes him light up, Sister Chushuo. She turns around, gentle face and fair skin glowing softly. Xiaoshen, is that really you? Overcome with emotion, he hugs her tightly, voice choking. I missed you so much. She blushes and softly calls his name. Later, she brings him to her place, an old worn apartment, and his heart sinks at the sight. She forces a smile, saying the rent is cheap and it's close to work. She enters the password and leads him inside. Putting down his bag, she tells him to shower and rest while she cooks, and he suddenly recalls how she always supported him quietly. A thought flashes through his mind. She deserves a better life, as she ties her apron and walks into the kitchen. She unties the strap behind her back, turns and notices him staring, asking if he has no spare clothes. There are men's clothes in the closet. He laughs it off and turns away. When he opens the closet, he freezes. It's filled with men's clothing. From the kitchen, she explains that whenever she saw something suitable, she bought it to send him, never expecting him to come in person. His chest tightens. Memories of her silent care in his past life flood back, and he realizes how much he once took for granted. After showering, he changes into clean clothes. Kyushu has already set the table, simple dishes but full of warmth. Come eat, I made all your favorites, Xiaoshen. As they sit down, she pulls out her phone and starts worrying about his tuition and living expenses, even planning to transfer more money. Hearing that, he gently grabs her soft hand. Sister, I'm not short on money anymore. She crosses her arms skeptically. He grins, wait and see. Seconds later, her phone notifies a large transfer. She gasps, covering her mouth, asking where it came from. He calmly continues eating, saying it's all earned from 8 desolations. She blushes slightly and asks if she doesn't need to worry about him anymore. He answers firmly, now it's my turn to take care of you, and won't accept refusal, but she insists it's his hard-earned money. Lin Jiken suddenly sets down his chopsticks and stands up seriously, forcing her to reluctantly agree to keep it for him. The awkwardness fades. Warmth returns to the table. He occasionally picks food for her, telling her to accept it with ease, and she smiles gently, eyes shining. Night falls, moonlight covering the city in a pale glow. After dinner, they clean up together. She tells him to rest while she washes dishes. He looks around and notices there's only one bed. The thought makes his heart stir as he realizes he never noticed this before. His question makes her flustered, face red, insisting he takes the bed while she sleeps on the sofa. They keep pushing the better spot to each other. In the end, she firmly pushes him into the room, saying his height would make the sofa uncomfortable. He smiles helplessly and closes the door, lying awake in the quiet night. Her lingering scent fills the room, making it impossible for him to sleep. After tossing and turning, he gets up and walks out. Seeing her asleep on the sofa, he softly calls her name. She rubs her eyes sleepily and asks why he's still awake. He sits down on the edge of the sofa. The cold night wind blows in through the window, and he suddenly asks her to quit her job. She's stunned, having no idea why he would suggest that out of nowhere. He holds her hand and calmly tells her to change careers and join 8 desolations as a pro player with him. He talks about the distance between them and worries he won't be able to protect her if something happens. She freezes, not knowing how to respond. He looks at Qiu Shui with firm eyes, asking her to walk this path with him and promising he can take care of her. The next morning, she goes to work like usual, but his words from last night keep replaying in her mind. The moment she steps into the office, a loud pop explodes and confetti fills the air. A young doctor walks up with flowers, wishing her happy birthday and saying he booked a luxury restaurant. Qiu Shui takes the bouquet, embarrassed, saying it didn't need to be this grand. Zhang Guangwei steps closer with a knowing smile, clearly showing his intentions. In his mind, this is the perfect chance to win her over. Just as the mood gets lively, a calm voice cuts in. Sister Q Shue, looks like a party in here. Everyone turns to see Lin Jikin at the door, casually spinning a car key, and Zhang Guangwei's face darkens. His eyes lock onto the Ferrari key, confused since he thought Lin Jikin was struggling and relying on Qiu Shue. Lin Jikin walks over with a polite smile and greets him. Dr. Zhang, what a coincidence. Behind that smile, he's already on guard. Downstairs, co-workers gather around the flashy red Ferrari parked outside the hospital. Many of them can't hide their amazement. Zhang Guangwei's expression turns ugly as doubts about Lin Jikin's identity grow. He pretends to be friendly and suggests Qiu Shue ride with him, while the others take taxis. The co-workers quickly agree and cheer him on. Lin Jikin calmly waves it off and says he prepared other transportation. Right then, a large bus pulls up in front of the hospital. He invites everyone aboard and arranges the ride to the restaurant. Qiu Shue blushes in surprise and quietly asks about it, and he simply says it's her birthday gift. She feels touched but worried, telling him not to spend so much. He jokes that she should quit soon and manage his money instead. She doesn't know how to reply as the bus heads toward Fu Ting restaurant. Before long, they arrive. The luxurious interior leaves everyone in awe, and Lin Jikin pretends to admire Zhang Guangwei's arrangements. Zhang Guangwei smiles on the surface but keeps calculating inside. Lin Jikin casually mentions the top floor with a full city view. That instantly puts Zhang Guangwei in a tough spot. He reluctantly agrees and leads everyone upstairs, knowing the cost will skyrocket. He convinces himself it's worth it, as long as he gets the girl. The rooftop party begins in dazzling fashion, filled with laughter. Qiu Shue feels uneasy seeing others spend so much because of her. In one corner, Lin Jikin and Zhang Guangwei toast each other, smiling but wary. Zhang Guangwei takes the chance to probe into his background. Lin Jikin lightly spins his glass and says the Ferrari was just rented for show. Zhang Guangwei laughs along, but secretly looks down on him even more. He signals the staff to bring out more wine. A waitress approaches with a tray and a professional smile. She begins pouring drinks for everyone. Zhang Guangwei proudly introduces the rare wine he prepared. Even though it pains him, he uses it to impress. The moment the wine is poured, Lin Jikin senses something off and instantly grows cautious. He sets his glass down and makes an excuse about returning the rental car, then leaves. Zhang Guangwei immediately offers to take Qiu Shue home instead. As Lin Jikin walks away, he already has a plan to return at the perfect time. Qiu Shue looks up to ask him something, but has already gone. Zhang Guangwei quickly raises his glass and urges everyone to drink. No one notices anything strange about the wine. Before long, everyone grows dizzy, and only Zhang Guangwei stays fully awake. A smug grin spreads across his face as he walks toward Qiu Shue. She is already dazed, her voice weak as she tries to resist. He grabs her and carries her into a nearby room, his tone full of calculation. In the dim light, Qiu Shue panics, and can only beg softly before he throws her onto the bed. Zhang Guangwei licks his lips and pulls out his phone, reminding her how much money he spent tonight. He talks about taking photos and videos to control her, confident she won't dare fight back. Tears fill Qiu Shue's eyes as she trembles in fear. Just as He's about to make his move, the door bursts open with an angry shout. Zhang Guangwei turns in shock and sees Lin Jikin charging in with fury. Before he can react, a heavy kick slams into him and he cries out in pain. The loud crash draws the restaurant staff over. They rush in asking what's going on. The scene shocks everyone as Zhang Guangwei is pinned to the floor while Lin Jikin rains down punches. Zhang Guangwei can barely fight back, blood spilling as panic fills his eyes. Still furious, Lin Jikin steps back and delivers one more brutal strike. Then he points at Zhang Guangwei and demands the staff check the wine for drugs. The staff look at each other, confused and stunned. Lin Jikin raises his phone and shows a recording of the suspicious act, giving a firm warning. Cornered, Zhang Guangwei drops to his knees begging, but Lin Jikin kicks him aside and orders him out. Zhang Guangwei staggers away in misery as Lin Jikin tells the staff to handle it later. On the bed, Qiu Shue curls up, fear still lingering in her eyes. Lin Jikin gently helps her up, shielding her like he won't let harm touch her again. She breaks down in tears, thanking him over and over. He holds her close and promises no one will ever hurt her again. A few days later, Lin Jikin returns to his apartment and finally relaxes. The whole ordeal drained him mentally. The memory of saying goodbye to Qiu Shue at the airport suddenly resurfaces. She fixed his hair gently and gave him careful reminders, and he replied with reluctance to part. Dropping his backpack, he remembers the game update finished half a day ago. He decides not to waste time and jumps back in to stay ahead. He puts on the VR headset, leans back, and logs in. In seconds, the world shifts and he reappears inside the Spirit Gathering array. After long offline training, he reaches a new realm and the system grants bonus stats. He casually opens his storage ring to check his resources. He recalls not fully examining the loot from the previous boss. The first item is a spirit-grade gear piece with strong stats and a healing skill. The second is a spirit technique that slows enemies in a wide area, exclusive to spell cultivators. The last item is Che-gu, a rare treasure formed from a buried beast skeleton hardened over a century with added stat boosts. Lin Jiken nods in satisfaction since all 3 items fit his current needs. To reach Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment, he must gather 3 heaven and earth treasures and 6 different spirit cores. Even though he doesn't have them all yet, he knows he should start preparing early. As he gets up to head down the mountain, he notices the iron-eating beast curled up asleep and snoring. He nudges it and says, "Hey, wake up, Big Bear, time to work." The iron-eating beast opens one eye, rolls over, and lazily complains that it's too hungry to move. Lin Jiken crosses his arms and scoffs. "You just woke up and you're already hungry? What are you, a rice bucket?" The iron-eating beast shoots back, raising its paw. "Didn't you promise to treat me to good food and drinks? Now you call me greedy?" He looks away awkwardly. "Really? Did I say that? Stop making things up." The beast instantly mimics him in the same tone. "Really? Did I say that? Stop making things up." Suddenly, a system alert rings out. Ding. Pet loyalty -10, current loyalty 90. Lin Jiken freezes. What? Damn it, I forgot about that. He quickly calculates that if it drops below 70, it won't listen, and under 50, it might rebel. So he decides to appease it. He pats its head and softens his voice. "Your master is an honest man. I was joking. I woke you up to take you out to eat." At the word food, the iron-eating beast's eyes light up and its tail wags wildly. "Why didn't you say so? Let's go. I'm starving." He leads it down the mountain. After the update, 8 desolations added new secret realms, but only 3 are open for now. The solo mode is called Nightmare Domain. The team mode is Ghost Knight Cavern. And the guild scale one is Corpse King Valley. They work like sect missions with 5 difficulty tiers, and he plans to enter Nightmare Domain first for Foundation establishment materials. Rumor says it also drops highly sought-after gear. While thinking, 3 people suddenly block his path, and Wang Xunhuang, a latest-stage Foundation establishment inner disciple, coldly asks if he's heading down the mountain. Lin Jiken brushes his hair back and calmly asks what they want. Wang Xunhuang draws his sword and declares, "I challenge you." His aura surges as a glowing scroll appears, showing sect rules that allow challenges as long as the gap isn't more than 1 major realm. If the target isn't injured, on a mission, or in seclusion, they must accept, keeping disciples sharp in the Tianyan Sword sect at the top of Mu Xianzhou. His lackeys stand around showing off and glaring at Lin Jiken provocatively. Lin Jiken stands tall and replies, "Fine, but I won't waste time. If I win, there better be something in it for me." Wang Xunhuang opens his contribution panel and says they'll bet points, claiming he has 886, and mocking that Lin Jiken might not even have enough to wager. Lin Jiken frowns since he has 0 points, and losing into the negatives would get him expelled. Just then, a gentle female voice drifts down as Nanggong Yu descends on her sword and tells her junior brother not to worry. She steps forward and shows her token, offering 60,000 contribution points, though the displayed number reads 3,667. Lin Jiken feels slightly embarrassed but thinks relying on others isn't so bad. Wang Xunhuang signals his men to pool their points, promising double repayment, and they each contribute until it adds up. With a confident grin, he declares a total of 1,500 points and vows to make Lin Jiken pay. On the mountain peak, the Tianyan Sword sect stands among towering swords, as disciples crowd the sword debate platform shouting that outer disciple Chen Yuan has won. On stage stands Chen Yuan, tall with silver hair and striking presence. At his feet lies his opponent, bloodied and trembling, cursing weakly. The crowd buzzes over Chen Yuan's 8-win streak, amazed that a latest-stage Qi refinement disciple shows such dominance. Chen Yuan lifts his head with confidence and a faint smirk. A burly elder in green robe steps forward and introduces himself as Nanggong Wu, offering to take Chen Yuan as a personal disciple. Chen Yuan is stunned and immediately kneels, respectfully accepting Nanggong Wu as his master. Just as the atmosphere turns solemn, a clear young voice calls out, "Father, I'm here." Nanggong Yue runs in with a bright smile, brushing past Chen Yuan. Her hair flows in the wind and Chen Yuan stands frozen, unable to look away. Nanggong Wu asks why she came, and she cheerfully says she's here to cheer for her junior brother. Nanggong Wu laughs and says he just accepted Chen Yuan as a disciple, making him her junior as well. Chen Yuan steps forward and greets her politely, asking for guidance. Nanggong Yue frowns slightly and corrects him, saying she meant junior brother Lin over there, not Chen Yuan. She points toward the arena where Lin Jiken has already stepped up, with Wang Xunhuang standing behind him, full of killing intent. Chen Yuan freezes, and Nanggong Wu finally realizes who she meant. Lin Jiken walks up calmly despite their cold stares, while Nanggong Wu silently wonders what makes this boy so special. Chen Yuan shifts his gaze and releases a green aura, saying he has long heard of Lin Jiken and wishes to spar. Lin Jiken casually scratches his nose and replies that he's busy, and already accepted someone else's challenge. He then points toward Wang Xunhuang waiting behind him. Chen Yuan is shocked that he would fight someone at latest-stage foundation establishment, and Nanggong Wu reminds him he can refuse. Wang Xunhuang's face stiffens as his hidden setup is exposed. But Lin Jiqin waves it off and says Wang Xunhuang insists on gifting him contribution points. His bold tone displeases Nanggong Wu, who finds him too arrogant. Meanwhile, Nanggong Yue excitedly cheers him on. Lin Jiqin draws his sword and invites Wang Xunhuang to make the first move. Wang Xunhuang snorts and unleashes his blade without holding back. A purple aura erupts around him as he charges forward with fierce killing intent. The battle explodes instantly as he leaps and slams his sword down, shaking the arena. But the strike hits nothing, and Lin Jiqin is nowhere to be seen. A voice sounds from behind, saying the speed is decent but not enough. A flash of sword light cuts through the air, and blood sprays out. Wang Xunhuang screams in pain. He flips back quickly, realizing he underestimated his opponent. His HP drops from 9,000 to 7,400 as purple energy covers his body. He gathers strength and unleashes an even stronger sword beam. Lin Jiqin grips his sword and activates Frost Moon Slash. The two forces collide with sparks and a deafening crash. Lin Jiqin follows up with another devastating strike. The blow knocks Wang Xunhuang away, costing him 2 chunks of 2,000 HP. The crowd below is stunned as he's sent flying. Wang Xunhuang finally crashes hard onto the ground. Convulsing and unconscious, he loses as the elder declares Lin Jiqin the winner. Nanggong Wu claps excitedly, praising her junior brother, while Nanggong Wu's face darkens despite admitting his strength. Nanggong Wu leaves immediately, leaving Nanggong Yue confused by his reaction. In another corner, streamer Liu Xiazi excitedly tells her viewers that Lin Jiqin simply cannot lose. The comments explode, calling him the god of 8 desolations, and wondering how he pulled off those moves. Some say he looks like a top-tier expert, and others joke that a man this handsome and strong must break hearts. Liu Xiazi giggles behind her hand, feeling proud of her choice of idol. Some viewers speculate his movement and judgment feel like a hidden professional player. Nearby, Chen Yuan clenches his fist, unwilling to accept how easily Wang Xunhuang's ultimate move was crushed. Lin Jiqin turns to leave when a voice calls out, "Hey, Lin Jiqin." Chen Yuan admits he lost today, but says it won't stay that way for long. His eyes burn with determination as he points straight at Lin Jiqin and tells him to wait. Lin Jiqin smirks slightly, knowing Chen Yuan has both pride and ambition, but the peak of the sword path won't be given up easily. Nanggong Yue walks over with a bright smile, praising his rapid growth, and he awkwardly replies that he just doesn't want to rely on her forever. She crosses her arms and pouts, asking if protecting him is a bad thing. He quickly explains that he wants to be strong enough to protect her and properly face her father and grandfather. Her face turns red as she stammers, asking if he plans to discuss marriage with her father. Her heart races as she convinces herself that feelings matter more than cultivation level. Sensing the awkward mood, he clears his throat and asks if she's free lately. He invites her to Fengku City to listen to music, watch plays, and enjoy the scenery. In his mind, he knows it's the right time to get closer and talk alone. She hesitates, saying her father may return soon, but her heart pounds at being invited. He suggests she say it's a sect mission, and after thinking it over, she agrees. She says she'll find him when the time comes, and he waves, saying hell wait. As she leaves, Nanggong Yue feels an unfamiliar excitement from their first private date. Just as he steps away from the arena, a soft female voice tells him to turn around. 3 beautiful girls stand there, led by Su Wanling, who greets him respectfully. She praises his easy victory over a late foundation establishment cultivator, and says they need his help, and he calmly asks with what. Su Wanling says the Moon Shadow Guild wants him to join Corpse King Valley, but he shakes his head. He says he can't carry that alone, leaving them stunned. When they press him, he explains Corpse King Valley needs 100 people and depends on overall strength. At minimum, each member should be mid-stage chi refinement to survive. He concludes that they should improve the guild's strength first. Internally, he's relieved he avoided a troublesome situation. Though disappointed, Su Wanling accepts his reasoning and asks about Ghost Knight Cavern instead. He smiles slightly and says that one is possible, but it's still very difficult. Su Wanling brightens immediately and asks what conditions he wants. He glances at her and asks if their guild leader will join. She confidently says of course and asks why. Satisfied, he nods and accepts the job. Su Wanling quickly warns him not to have any improper thoughts about their guild leader. He shrugs and jokes that he only wants some spirit stones, not his life. Just then, a young man in black named Wang Yinghao runs over eagerly. He offers 3 million as payment for help clearing a dungeon. Lin Jiqin turns and asks who he is. The man stomps in frustration, reminding him about the bow he sold him before. Lin Jiqin finally remembers and says regretfully that he already agreed to help his girlfriend. He suddenly pulls Su Wanling into his arms, making her blush, and casually says they're about to enter a dungeon together. His tone turned gentle, saying he should personally take her there. Caught off guard, Su Wanling stammered I. Wang Yinghao froze, memories flashing back as he realized she was the girl who fought him for the bow. The moment it clicked, his mind went blank, and defeat hit him hard. Shock turned into regret, and he blamed himself for missing something so obvious. Lin Jikan pulled Su Wanling away and joked that a rich and outstanding woman was chasing him, so he decided to stop trying. But when he looked at Wanling, anger surged as he clenched his fist, swearing he would not let her off this time. Ignoring everything else, Lin Jikan led Wanling deeper into the forest. As they walked, he thanked her for blocking an attack earlier and promised to repay her. Wanling lowered her head and softly said she did not need any repayment. At the entrance of Night Ghost Ridge, cultivators crowded around, shouting for teammates in total chaos. Standing before the gate, he glanced around with a hint of disdain, noticing more and more players joining. Wanling quickly stepped forward and called out that they had arrived. Several girls nearby turned and looked at them with curious eyes. The guild leader hurried over, greeting Lin Jikan and asking him to help clear the dungeon, promising any conditions. He calmly raised 3 fingers and said he had 3 requests. First, he would have full command inside the dungeon, and everyone must follow his lead. Second, all sword cultivator gear and Heavenly Dao Foundation materials would belong to him. For the third request, he leaned closer and quietly asked to borrow some spirit stones, asking how much she could offer. The guild leader hesitated, knowing spirit stones were vital, especially with the market rate rising to 1,180. Seeing her doubt, Xiao Chen assured her he would repay 130% within 5 days. Hearing that, she agreed and lent him 50,000 spirit stones. The system instantly showed 50,000 spirit stones, added to his account. After confirming the transfer, he promised to repay within 5 days and told everyone to enter the dungeon. 2 girls stepped forward, Li Jinxi, a latest-stage Qi refinement body cultivator, and Tao Xiying, a mid-stage Qi refinement healer. The group entered together as system notifications rapidly popped up. Wanshi Guild at 52%, Zayu Studio at 50%, Canwin Studio at 49%, Extreme Guild at 47%, and Moon Shadow Guild at 0% on Hell mode. Once inside, Wanling was shocked, asking if they had really entered Hell difficulty. Tao Xiying nervously asked Lin Jikan if he had chosen the wrong mode. Staying calm, he explained that Night Ghost Ridge was not that scary, and that coordination and rotation tactics were the key. He told them to stick close, and promised he would carry them through. No one knew that Xiao Chen had planned this difficulty all along, since he knew the place well and could farm better gear. The 5 cautiously moved toward a giant lantern ahead, with Xiao Chen leading steadily. Sensing living energy, the lantern suddenly emitted a strange glow. Tao Xiyang clung to Wanling in fear, while Wanling tried to act brave and said horror scenes were just fake. But right then, a cold voice suddenly called out Wanling's name from behind. The guild leader trembled and pointed at the ground, whispering that there was a hand beneath her feet. Wanling turned pale and slowly looked down in terror. The moment she saw a skeleton hand reaching up, she screamed, shattering the silence. Even after realizing it was a prank, she scolded the guild leader, while Xiao Chen could only sigh at their childish antics. Suddenly, strange noises echoed through the space, freezing everyone as the air turned heavy. A horrifying zombie appeared before them, holding a club and slowly walking closer. Its twisted face grinned as rotten flesh fell off piece by piece. Seeing that, Wanner panicked and clung to Dao Xiying while screaming. The monster moved forward and rasped that 5 more prey had delivered themselves. It claimed this place was full of danger, and only it, the Gravekeeper, could survive here. The 4 girls behind were trembling, while the guild leader forced herself to calm them down. As the Gravekeeper passed by, Xiao casually said to ignore him and keep moving. Being ignored, the old man twisted his neck and suddenly called out, asking for help. Xiao Chen immediately turned back and told him to speak, already knowing a quest was coming. The Gravekeeper slowly explained that 20 years ago his wife was killed here by an evil spirit. He said he stayed behind as a guardian, hoping someone could find her white handkerchief, and he would reward them with 2 mystic-grade items. Without hesitation, Xiao Chen accepted the quest, and the guild leader was thrilled at the bonus reward. The Gravekeeper saw them off and said he would wait at the foot of the mountain. Xiao Chen and the 4 girls adjusted themselves and headed toward the mountain ahead. A towering peak stood before them, wrapped in thick black mist. Within the dark fog, countless skulls floated in the air. Li Jinxi and Tao Xiying instinctively grabbed Wanling as she muttered there were dozens of ghosts. The guild leader stepped up, saying this was hell mode, and ordered everyone to activate defense and cast group healing. Not wanting to fall behind, Li Jinxi rushed forward and shouted that she would handle them. She charged into battle, striking the ghosts one after another. Even when hit, the ghosts kept surging forward without fear. Xiao Chen joined in, slashing a wide arc with his sword and activating a skill. As the skill triggered, spirit stones from nearby graves flew into the air as if pulled by force. Wanling stared in shock and asked what his luck stat even was. Xiao Chen simply smiled and said it was a secret. Right then, a massive monster appeared behind them, and someone shouted a warning. Xiao Chen reacted instantly, spinning around with his sword pointed straight at it. Without much resistance, he cut the giant down. From the collapsing body, a white handkerchief dropped onto his blade. Wanling excitedly said it was the gravekeeper's wife's handkerchief and suggested turning it in. Xiao Chen shut that idea down, saying it would not be that easy. He took the handkerchief and told everyone to move quickly if they wanted to clear the stage. The group pushed deeper into the dark mountain. Soon they saw a corpse hanging from a tree, muttering in sorrow. The sight made everyone tense as their hearts pounded. A heavy dark aura radiated from it as it said someone had finally come to keep it company. Its eye sockets and mouth were pitch black like endless voids. Sensing danger, Xiao Chen and the guild leader drew their weapons at the same time. The ground shook as skeletal arms burst out, and Wanling panicked, asking what they should do. Xiao Chen stabbed his sword into the ground and unleashed his spiritual power, telling the bones to stay buried. A blue energy wave spread outward, covering the area. Then he dashed forward at top speed and shouted for the demon to take his blade. Without hesitation, he swung his sword straight at the target. But the space in front of him was empty, and the enemy had vanished. A skeletal hand suddenly reached from behind, whispering that this young man looked handsome. The monster asked if he wanted to become ghost husband and wife, already clinging to Xiao Chen's back with a smug grin. Its cold hands touched his face as it suggested he switch to ghost cultivation and dual cultivate with her. Losing patience, Xiao Chen shoved it away and shouted for it to shut up. Even after being pushed back, it leaned close again, but he only replied with one word, annoying. Rejected so bluntly, its expression turned vicious. It declared it would rip out his soul, then floated into the air, with heavy pressure spreading out. Instantly, sharp spikes burst from the ground and surrounded Xiao Chen. He reacted fast and slashed apart the spikes one by one. Then he turned and called for the others to attack together. The guild leader slammed her staff into the ground and answered firmly. She ordered Su Wanling to assist Xiao Chen in the main assault, and Wanling drew her sword with steady eyes. Li Jinxi was assigned to crowd control, and she stepped forward ready. Tao Xiying was told to guard the rear, and she quickly agreed. Once the formation was set, the guild leader shouted to attack. The four of them worked together and cleared the spikes around Xiao Chen. Suddenly, thorny vines rose from the ground and formed a thick barrier. The thorns wrapped tightly around the monster's body. Not letting it finish, Li Jinxi dashed forward at high speed. She delivered a heavy kick and told the other two to finish it. As the monster was knocked back, Xiao Chen closed in instantly. He raised his sword and unleashed his ultimate skill. The monster screamed and controlled its long hair to counterattack. The hair wrapped around the blade, trying to stop the strike. Su Wanling rushed in and cut the hair apart, freeing him. Before it could react, the sword was already at its body. With no way to escape, it was sliced in half and instantly destroyed. Seeing the enemy fall, Tao Xiying hugged Li Jinxi in excitement. The rest of the group finally relaxed. Looking at the loot, Wanling joked about Xiao Chen's insane luck as the others teased about buying lottery tickets. The guild leader told Xiao Chen to pick first and take whatever he liked. He did not hesitate and began selecting items as system notices popped up. The spirit-grade equipment displayed their stats and skills in detail. After dividing everything, Xiao Chen stepped forward and told them to continue. The system announced that Moon Shadow Guild had reached 60% progress on Hell Mode. The five of them pushed deeper into the forest's core. Suddenly, the familiar gravekeeper appeared ahead, blocking their path. Wanling excitedly pointed him out and suggested returning the handkerchief. But Xiao Chen stopped her and quietly told her to wait. He warned that approaching would be like walking into death, leaving her confused. Calmly, he explained that the gravekeeper said he would wait at the foot of the mountain, so why was he here, and asked if she had guessed who the real boss was. When she realized the truth, he lightly tapped her forehead and teased her for being slow. The guild leader was stunned and questioned how a boss could also give them a quest. Xiao Chen explained that this was the dungeon's biggest trap, and many teams had fallen for it. Finally understanding, the guild leader thanked him sincerely, knowing they would have lost major rewards without him. Seeing them stand still, the gravekeeper slowly turned around with a twisted smile. He raised his hand and rasped, asking if they had found his wife's relic. He promised 2 mystic-grade items if they handed it over. Before he could finish, a sword pierced through his body. Xiao Chen pulled his blade out, eyes cold, telling him to stop the nonsense and fight. He stayed alert, remembering the mistake from his past life and refusing to repeat it. The gravekeeper froze, a question mark popping above his head. Suddenly, his skinny hand swelled as veins bulged violently. He slammed the ground, causing a massive shockwave. His body twisted into a giant monster as he roared that he was the Ghost King. Black crows flooded the sky and blocked out the light. Wanling tightened her grip on her sword in panic. At the front, Xiao Chen kept slashing, forming arcs of light to block the crows. Once they were contained, he ordered Dao Xiang to clear them with her skill. She answered immediately and began casting. Purple spiritual energy surged into a spiraling pillar reaching the sky. Xiao Chen told the others to handle the crows while he took the boss. Then he dashed forward at extreme speed. A faint smile appeared as he locked onto the boss' weakness. He leaped into the air and struck down like a hawk, chaining attacks that drained the boss fast. The system panel revealed Night Ghost King, latest Age Foundation establishment, with over 10,000 HP and multiple dark skills. In an instant, its body vanished into thick black mist. A dark vortex formed behind Xiao Chen, signaling black mist escape. Seizing the moment, he shouted for everyone to push in. He thrust his sword forward and unleashed a crushing strike. The guild leader activated her ultimate skill, Earth-Subduing Grasp. Li Jinshi lowered her stance and prepared a full-power punch. Wanling focused her blade and cast Blazing Flame Great Slash. The team attacked in perfect sync. Under the barrage, the boss staggered and dropped to one knee. Xiao Chen raised his sword for the finishing move, Wind Phoenix Dance. Countless lights fell from above like a starry sky. Each impact drained the boss further and echoed through the battlefield. Seeing it near death, Xiao Chen smirked and told his bear to take the stage. He kept attacking and promised bamboo as a reward. The others gasped in excitement, realizing the adorable beast was Xiao Chen's pet. The bear suddenly expanded, letting out a suppressing roar. With one explosive strike, it smashed the boss into fragments. After finishing the job, it calmly landed on the ground. It looked at Xiao Chen with clear confidence. But the girls quickly surrounded it, praising and petting it non-stop. Watching from afar, Xiao Chen could only facepalm. Ignoring the scene, he turned to the corpse and widened his eyes. It had dropped equipment for spell cultivators. He calculated that a few more treasures would complete his goal. The system announced a perfect hell clear in 7 minutes and 565 seconds, granting cultivation and team points. Xiao Chen looked up at the empty sky. As the battle ended, the guild leader bowed and thanked him, offering to buy the magic gear so he would not lose out. Xiao Chen raised a purple gem and waved it off, saying the gear was theirs, while the guild leader was shocked to see a black jade essence. He turned to her and said he would leave if there was nothing else. Before going, he warned them to exit quickly, or people would block them for Gonrei tips. Watching him walk away, she felt shy for not thanking him properly, and the guild leader smiled, saying there would be chances later. Leaning against a tree, Xiao Chen opened the system and called out to Wang Xuan. A new scheme formed in his mind, planning to squeeze more benefits from Wang Jinghao. Wang Xuan's voice came through, asking if this was a video call. The scene shifted to Fengku City. The two sat drinking as Wang Xuan asked why he had been called. Wang Xuan joked that life was precious, but love was more valuable, and he would gladly play matchmaker. Xiao Chen sighed and said that did not benefit Wang Xuan at all, which made him uneasy. Wang Xuan then asked him to help Wanshi Guild clear Night Ghost Ridge next. Seeing Xiao Chen's expression change, he quickly asked if something was wrong. Xiao Chen lowered his voice and said his girlfriend would not allow it because the two guilds were rivals. Inside, he felt a brief hint of guilt. The answer left Wang Xuan secretly annoyed. Xiao Chen then suggested he could sell the Hell Mode strategy instead. He asked for 8,000 Spirit Stones. Wang Xuan stood up immediately and agreed without hesitation. Though it was nearly all the guild's savings, he convinced himself big gains required big risks. Xiao Chen took out paper and began writing the strategy. Wang Xuan questioned why not use the system, and Xiao Chen replied that simple methods were harder to trace. After reading it, Wang Xuan nodded in understanding. The deal was done, and Wang Xuan hurried off to lead his guild into Hell Mode. Watching him leave, Xiao Chen revealed a subtle, calculating smile. Night gradually covered Fengku City. Xiao Chen stood before a pharmacy. He dropped a heavy money pouch on the counter and ordered all corpse poison antidotes in stock. He said he would buy everything. The shop owner smiled, warning that the antidotes were not cheap. She stepped closer with a welcoming tone. Xiao Chen opened the pouch and calmly asked if it was enough. He offered to add more if needed, and she said it was more than enough. She leaned closer and teased that he was quite good at earning spirit stones. She even suggested he stay and run the shop with her, saying the shop and even herself could be his. For a moment, Xiao Chen felt slightly flustered, but he quickly steadied himself and said his path was not here. He closed his eyes briefly to clear his thoughts. His goal was still to become the strongest sword cultivator. Seeing he would not budge, she stopped teasing and went to pack the medicine. Her sudden closeness still shook his resolve for a split second. After the deal, she leaned on the door and told him to visit again, and he agreed. Walking down the street, he calculated that he had stored over 200,000 bottles. This corpse poison antidote would be crucial against Corpse King Valley, though others had not realized it yet. Without it, clearing the stage after being poisoned was nearly impossible, and he planned to resell it at a high price while searching for more resources to strengthen himself. Next stop, the land of scarlet flames. Xiao Chen drops from the sky and lands smoothly. He scans the area and senses thick fire, spiritual energy gathering here. Suddenly, a dark shadow rushes at him at insane speed. He reacts instantly and draws his sword. They clash hard, sword light flashes. One limb of the fire pincer insect is sliced off and its body is blasted away. It lets out a piercing screech, then turns and tries to flee. Xiao Chen immediately chases after it and shouts, "Where do you think you're going?" His sword shoots forward, pierces through its body, and it screams "Chi-Chi." The creature crashes heavily onto the ground. Its corpse vanishes, leaving behind gold, a fragment of fire spiritual energy, and 2 level 1 spirit stones. Holding the red spirit stone, he checks it and finds the quality low, the energy thin, so he decides to collect more fragments before fusing them later. Standing before the dark cave entrance, he knows better purity means going deeper inside. He shouts into the cave, "Hey Huangshulang inside, come out and die." From deep within, a graceful figure steps out, 3 tails swaying in the air. A powerful aura erupts as it roars in anger. "Who are you calling Huangshulang, brat?" It is the boss fire 3-tailed fox, late chi refinement, 4500 HP, 60 attack, 55 defense, 75 speed, with skills blazing tail burst, sharp wind claw, and triple fox strike. Lin Jiken grins, "Didn't expect you to grow from a Huangshulang into a fox." The fire 3-tailed fox's face darkens as it instantly casts blazing tail burst. 3 waves of flames shoot out, but Lin Jiken dodges at the last second. Seeing him escape so easily only fuels its rage. Lin Jiken smirks, "I say you look like a fox and you still get mad?" He charges forward with his sword. "Want a beating?" The fire 3-tailed fox slashes back with sharp wind claw and roars, "Don't push it." Lin Jiken twists midair and dodges cleanly. Then he counters hard, "Take this back." The fire 3-tailed fox freezes. What? It only manages a short roar. Before it can recover, the blade slams down and knocks it to the ground. Realizing it can't win, it reveals its true form and runs. Lin Jiken summons his Shiti Show and teases, "Hair is your food. Still picky because you haven't evolved?" As he speaks, he tosses it toward the prey. The fleeing fox suddenly looks back. It sees Shitai Show grinning wide, drool dripping, laughing strangely, and panics with a terrified Chi-Chi. Shitai Show quickly finishes the fox and lets out a satisfied sound as Lin Jiken walks over and asks, "So good enough this time?" It pats its belly and says, "Not bad, but I haven't had meat in a while, still not enough." Lin Jiken checks the loot, gaining gold, spirit stones, a spirit-grade martial skill, and a perfect purity fire spiritual energy, so he plans to hunt the rest. Suddenly, a phone rings outside the cabin. The sound pulls him back to reality. Lin Jiken logs out and answers, "Hello?" On the other end, Renlan laughs. "Xiao Lin, school's on break. Help me move some stuff. I'm staying at your place till next term." He replies, "Got it. I'm coming." A thought flashes through his mind as he hears Shiz moving in. He considers asking her to help design a physical training plan. His goal is to boost his strength over the next few years. Looking at his reflection in the glass, his face turns serious as he thinks about the world's coming changes. As he leaves home, he knows this peace won't last. Renlan waves at him while dragging a suitcase. "Why are you so slow? I still want to game later." Lin Jiken blinks, "That fast? You were still at school." Renlan shrugs, "It's close, so I got here quick." She shoves the suitcase at him and walks ahead. "You carry it." He smiles and follows behind with the luggage, then suddenly stops because it's insanely heavy. He realizes the suitcase is packed with heavy training equipment. After dragging it upstairs, he asks, "Did you tell your parents?" Renlan replies casually, "I said I'm traveling with a friend." Leaning against the wall, he sighs, worried about what happens if they find out. Renlan jumps onto the gaming seat excitedly. "Hurry, teach me how to play." Lin Jiken explains, "First verify your identity, then log in and pick a class. There are 4 paths: Chi Cultivator, Body Cultivator, Healer, or Mage." The login screen appears. Renlan cheers as Shez asks to enter her character ID, realizing character creation has begun, and Lin Jiken simply nods. The interface walks her through body shape, face, and stats, and Renlan asks if this is the character panel. She quickly finishes customizing and moves her character toward Nuwa, clearly excited. Nuwa floats in the air, her majestic voice guiding players onto the cultivation path. Renlan's eyes widen, stunned by Nuwa's beauty. With a gentle wave, Nuwa grants her blessing. Renlan's character rises into the air as the system announces the talent Immovable Ming King. Just the name alone sounds insanely powerful. Nuwa then summons a giant scroll and tells her to choose a starting region. Renlan hesitates, tapping her lips as she thinks. Lin Jiken steps in calmly and explains which region fits each cultivation path. Renlan walks closer, teases his in-game looks, and asks what talent he got. She opens her system panel to show off, and every stat and bonus is top tier. Lin Jiken can't hide his shock and realizes this is an extremely rare talent. Renlan smiles proudly and locks in the Body Cultivator path. On the outside, he stays calm, but inside has already rating her potential very high. She asks what's next, but Lin Jiken says don't rush quests, trade resources, and gear up first. Soon they arrive at the busy Phoenix Song City and stop at the 100 Herbs Hall. Vendors shout non-stop, promoting rare spiritual herbs. Two nearby players complain they can't find corpse poison and are worried about clearing the dungeon. Lin Jiken suddenly steps in and offers to sell corpse poison, already calculating profit in his head. Word spreads fast and a crowd instantly gathers. Players start shouting to buy, fighting for their turn. Lin Jiken keeps order and tells everyone to line up, while Renlan realizes his money-making skills are no joke. Right then, someone calls his name and he turns around. Guo Jie appears with a gentle smile, drawing whispers from the crowd. She walks up acting close, but clearly has her own agenda. Lin Jiken stays cold and sees through her instantly. Guo Jie keeps her soft tone and speaks like they are still intimate. The crowd keeps whispering, curious about their relationship. Renlan suddenly moves behind him and gives him a sharp jab, then whispers, Xiao Linzi, don't forget what kind of woman she is. She acts like that with every guy. Lin Jiken winces. Hey, easy there, auntie. Guo Ji grabs his hand anxiously. Lin Chen, have you forgotten what you promised me? Lin Jiken replies calmly, I'll never forget what you said. Guo Jie's face falls as she asks, then why are you playing with Ren Lan? Didn't you say I was the only one in your heart? Ren Lan suddenly pulls Lin Jiken close with an arm around his neck. Sorry, but whatever Xiaolin Zi said before is in the past, so keep your distance, because right now he's my boyfriend. Guo Jie's face turns red with anger. Ren Lan, I know your father has status, but I'm not afraid. Lin Jiken and I never broke up. He is still my rightful boyfriend, so watch yourself. Lin Jiken's eyes turn icy as he says calmly, we ended a long time ago. Guo Jie freezes Lin Jiken. Why? He lets out a short laugh. Why? Don't you know what you did? He looks at her with disgust. While dating me, you kept getting close to Shu Ziquai and even shared the same candy stick with him. Did you think I wouldn't know? Guo Jie hurriedly defends herself with teary eyes. Jiken, I was wronged. It's all a misunderstanding. Just listen to me. Lin Jiken pulls out an intimate photo of her and Shu Ziquai and throws it down. With evidence like this, what else can you say? The nearby players shake their heads and whisper about her two-timing. Calmly, he wraps his arm around Ren Lan and announces, by the way, I'm not just her boyfriend, I'm her fiancé. We're getting married soon. Hearing that, Ren Lan feels secretly satisfied and thinks, not bad, Xiaolin Zi can really act. Ren Lan lifts her chin proudly. Guo Jie, you should leave. Stop getting in the way of my husband and me. The crowd grows annoyed and echoes her. Yeah, just go. Stop blocking us from buying. Trembling with rage, Guo Jie grits her teeth. Fine, Lin Jiken, Ren Lan. I'll remember this. You'll regret it. Black money bags are piled all over the floor, each packed with 100 shining spirit stones. Lin Jiken lies flat on the ground. Exhausted, the profit is good, but wasting a whole day like this is not efficient. He tosses Ren Lan a bag of spirit stones and tells her to gear up, then head to Huafeng province for the newbie quest, and skip random village tasks. Go straight to the martial hall. She asks what about him. He laughs confidently and says, hell, find a better way to make money. Just wait until they're rich. As he walks away, he calculates that since Muxian province is ruled by the Qianlong royal clan, his current fame might help him buy prime land. An idea sparks about opening a pharmacy. He knows land prices in the 8 desolations will skyrocket in a few years. Lost in thought, a fierce black wolf suddenly blocks his path. He calmly draws his sword with a smirk, mocking it for delivering treasure to him. The wolf roars and charges like an arrow. In one flash of sword light, Lin Jiken kills it instantly. A desperate cry for help rings out, and the system alerts him of a triggered opportunity. The Qianlong royal princess is asking for help, accept or not. A panicked woman runs toward him, screaming for help. With trembling voice and tears, Ji Tongyin claims she is a princess of the Qianlong royal clan and begs him to report to Phoenix Song City, saying the attackers are from the Nether Soul Hall and rewards await. Lin Jiken recalls the 8 Desolations storyline about the eldest princess of Qianlong being hunted by demonic cultivators and dying tragically. Hands on his waist, he questions why a royal princess is here alone at night. Covered in blood, Ji Tongyin explains their convoy was ambushed by demons and she got separated while escaping. Lin Jiken pulls her behind him and says coldly, enough. He stares at the black-clothed pursuers and shouts that chasing the Qianlong princess means courting death. The leader laughs sinisterly and mocks him for playing hero, saying today will be his last day. Lin Jiken stays calm and raises a talisman in his hand. The talisman bursts with blinding purple light and fills the area. A terrifying pressure spreads, leaving the assassins pale and speechless. From the void appears the stunning figure of his master Lung Feiyan, her stern voice demanding who dares harm her disciple. Lin Jiken immediately points his sword at them, accusing them of trying to kill him and leave his master without her only disciple. Hearing that, Lung Feiyan declares that anyone who harms her disciple must die. She casually draws a line in the air. destructive power sweeps out, and the black-clothed group vanishes, before they can curse the Tianyan sword sect. Lin Jikan squints excitedly and gives a thumbs up, praising his master non-stop. Leng Feiyan turns to him with a stern look, asking why he hasn't returned to the sect for so long. Scratching his head awkwardly, he explains he planned to buy land from the Qianlong royal clan, to open a shop, and earn money to repay her. Leng Feiyan gives him a primordial spirit talisman and tells him to activate it in danger, then orders him to return soon, and he quickly agrees. With that, her figure slowly fades into the void. Ji Tongyin cautiously steps forward and thanks him and the Tianyan sword sect for saving her life. The system announces the rescue, the eldest princess of Qianlong quest is complete, granting 10 favor points from her and 5,000 reputation across Muxian province cities. Lin Jikan turns away like a wandering hero, saying slaying demons is a righteous duty, but inside Hez already thinking about prime land in Phoenix Song City. Ji Tongyin smiles shyly and says Hez too humble, a life-saving grace cannot be denied. He replies with the usual righteous talk, and the system shows her favor rising by 5, now at 15. Her attitude turns respectful as she happily invites him to the palace, saying her father will reward him well. He nods and asks her to lead the way. Entering the grand palace, he can't help but admire the royal aura. A man steps forward to stop him and asks if he is the Tianyan sword sect disciple who saved the princess. This man has an outstanding presence. He is the third prince of Qianlong, Ji Shen. Seeing her brother, Ji Tongyin brightens up and calls out, "Royal brother." Lin Jikan bows politely and confirms he is the one mentioned. Ji Shen laughs heartily and praises him for protecting the princess, saying any request can be made. Lin Jikan clasps his hands and says he does have a favor to ask, whether the royal clan can help him find good land to open a shop. Ji Shen waves it off casually and hands him a deed scroll, saying there is already a shop prepared, and it is now his. Lin Jikan thanks him while opening it, and inside Hez thrilled to see the perfect location and layout. Holding the deed, he calmly heads toward his new pharmacy. As expected of royal property, the place looks grand and impressive. Even better, it sits right in the busiest central district. Just then, women from a nearby brothel wave at him. "Young master, come up tonight for some tea. Let me sing and play for you. I'm especially skilled with the flute." Turns out right next door is the famous Autumn Moon Pavilion. Lin Jikan glances over with a teasing look. That single glance makes the women even louder, calling him handsome and charming. He chuckles to himself, thinking this place will be worth a fortune in a few years. As he enters the pharmacy, 3 attendants rush out and bow. "Greetings, shopkeeper. Young Master Lin, we've received orders. You are now the owner of the Qianlong pharmacy." One steps forward and says he understands pharmacology and can assist him. Another says management can be left to him, and the shop will stay organized. Lin Jikan nods in satisfaction as someone hands him the account book. He takes it and declares that from now on this is no longer Qianlong Pharmacy, it belongs to him. Starting today, it will be renamed Commoner Grand Medicine Hall. The 3 are stunned, but he tells them to remember it. For now, the shop will only sell corpse poison, limited to 10,000 bottles per day, then close. The staff gasp at the limit. He answers simply, "When it's sold out, tell them to wait for the next batch." The 3 immediately change the signboard and update the listings. As announcements spread, players rush in and sell everything out, while Lin Jikan walks away calmly, trusting the staff enough to return to the sect. He heads back to the Tianyan sword sect and goes straight to Leng Feiyan's residence. As soon as he arrives, he calls out, "Master Feiyan, your disciple has returned." Leng Feiyan glances at him and says lightly, "You're back." He answers, secretly thinking she must have missed him. She smiles faintly and teases, "Back so soon? Saved the eldest princess and got royal treatment. What, didn't they make you their prince consort?" Lin Jikan instantly senses the tone and quickly denies it. "Forget prince consort. Even if they offered me the throne, I wouldn't take it. I was born a member of the sword sect and will die one." Hearing this, Leng Feiyan's fingertip moves slightly. An invisible force instantly pulls him right in front of her. "Is that true?" Lin Jikan answers instantly. "Of course, Master's grace is carved into my heart. Heaven can witness it." Then he takes out a brocade pouch. "This is a gift I brought back. I hope you like it." He continues with heartfelt words about his loyalty to her. From the pouch, he reveals a delicate bracelet. "Master, let me put it on for you." Leng Feiyan's favor rises instantly, and the system announces, "Heart connection achieved." He secretly celebrates, feeling everything is going smoothly. In his excitement, he unconsciously touches her hand, only pulling back when reminded. He praises her beauty with lines borrowed from ancient poetry. Leng Feiyan blushes slightly and scolds, "You silver-tongued boy, how is your foundation establishment preparation?" He replies everything is ready, and he can break through any time. She nods and tells him to enter seclusion now. He mentions the coming lightning tribulation, and she decides he will break through here while she protects him. With her promise, Lin Jikan sits down and begins cultivating. The system announces his breakthrough to early Foundation establishment. All combat stats surge. His destiny-defying talent doubles all attributes, and a new talent appears, All-Seeing Eye, giving a chance to learn enemy skills in battle. The system warns that in half an hour, heavenly tribulation will descend. Soon dark clouds cover the Tianyan sword sect and thunder roars. Lung Feiyan immediately channels her spiritual power. She forms a protective barrier around Lin Jikan. He feels confident, thinking with her backing there is nothing to fear. As the lightning tribulation slowly fades, Leng Feiyan's expression turns serious, disciple. She says softly that in the future she cannot shield him from tribulations anymore. Lin Jikan's face changes. What? Why? She explains the 2 lightning strikes just now were far stronger than expected. If she keeps interfering, future tribulations will become even more dangerous. Even she might not handle them. Without tempering by heavenly lightning, body and soul would remain weak, and he can only sigh at losing this support. Leng Feiyan reassures him there are other ways to deal with tribulation, and he quickly asks what. She mentions Lei Marsh in the western region, a place for lightning cultivation. If fortunate, he may find a thunder dragon and obtain the heart of thunder spirit to temper his body, and then no longer fear tribulation. Hearing this, Lin Jikan recalls the place is dangerous but worth trying, especially with his protective treasure. He bows in gratitude and decides to leave at once. Leng Feiyan gives further warnings. Lei Marsh is not only full of lightning but also chaos and criminals, so he must be careful. She adds that the primordial spirit talisman will not work there, and he freezes. Losing both backing and talisman leaves him uneasy. Still, he heads to the western region, where Lei Marsh is stormy and barren year-round. His face turns firm, determined to move forward alone. After only a few steps, lightning splits a tree before him and startles him. He takes out an umbrella. It is the Wind Thunder umbrella given by Lung Feiyan before he left. She told him it can resist lightning, but the path ahead is his alone. He accepted it gratefully, even brushing her hand lightly. Leng Feiyan withdrew her hand with a faint blush. Back to the present, he holds the Wind Thunder umbrella and ventures deeper into Lei Marsh, recalling ancient records about the Thunder God, the entity tied to the lightning of this land. His target is the Thunder Dragon, to obtain the heart of Thunder Spirit for future tribulations. Suddenly, a fierce creature bursts from the water. Bloodthirsty Thunder Crocodile, early Crystal Core Realm, its combat stats appear. Lin Jikan immediately summons Shi Ti Shou and orders it to handle the beast. The Shitai beast slams down hard and chunks a huge portion of the enemy's HP. It keeps the pressure on, forcing the Lei Yi to weaken fast. He realizes both beasts share the lightning element, so his side isn't at a disadvantage. He orders it to hold the enemy in place. Then he draws his sword and charges in. One clean strike, a decisive finisher. He leaves the rest to the Shitai beast, which tears the prey apart, and its loyalty rises again. With the fight over, Lin Jikan starts checking all the loot. Besides spirit stones, gold, and recovery pills, the boss drops 3 more items. A lei pill, a high-grade spiritier lei E armor, and a lightning stone. But he barely cares since the armor is too heavy and better suited for someone like Ren Lan. The lightning crystal has more value, and right then the system suddenly sends a special item straight into his inventory, catching him off guard. When he checks, he finds 3 lei E eggs that can hatch into mounts with absolute loyalty. Just as Hez inspecting them, footsteps echo in the distance. He frowns and turns toward the sound. 2 girls walk over with arrogant looks, telling him to hand over the lei E eggs if he wants to leave unharmed. Lin Jikan calmly replies that earning things should be done properly, and robbing him like this is crossing the line. The blonde pulls out a flare gun and warns him that one shot will summon their experts, so he better cooperate. He scoffs and asks if she really thinks he would fall for that. The black-haired girl raises her bow and declares they serve the young sect master of Wan Yao sect, who brought thousands of experts to the Thunder Marsh. Hearing Wan Yao sect makes Lin Jikan pause. In the 8 desolations, sects are ranked in tiers, and Wan Yao sect stands at the super tier, equal to Tianyan sword sect. Though they never clashed, Tianyan has only 1 ascension expert, while Wan Yao has 2. Making an enemy of them over 3 eggs isn't worth the trouble. After thinking it through, he tosses the 3 eggs to the blonde. The black-haired girl smirks, saying he made the right choice. But the blonde's eyes lock onto the Shitai beast, greed flashing in her gaze. She demands he hand over the beast too. His eyes turn cold as his hand rests on his sword, warning them they've gone too far. The black-haired girl stops talking and fires an arrow. Before it reaches him, a sword flash splits it in half. In the next second, he dashes forward and strikes their acupoints. A single kick sends both of them crashing to the ground. He smirks and asks if they can't move now. They panic and demand to know what he plans to do. Lin Jikan calmly says he doesn't hit women, then ties them up anyway, while they beg him to stop as the tickling drives them crazy. He pulls out a dogtail grass stem and says not hitting them doesn't mean letting them off. He brushes the grass against their feet until they break down. begging for mercy and admitting they were wrong to rob him. He asks if their young sect master would really let him go. They swear they won't report him. Hearing that, he cuts the ropes. The moment they're free, they burst out laughing and call him a fool. The blonde fires the flare into the sky, saying the young master is on his way. Before the black-haired girl can finish threatening him, a sword pierces her chest. Lin Jikin says coldly that he only promised not to hit them, not to kill. The blonde screams in rage. She gathers power for a counterattack. A flash of sword light and her body is split in two. The two greedy girls die without saying another word. He says they crossed his line again and again. This is the price. He calls back his beast, retrieves the 3 eggs, and leaves. Not long after, a large group arrives, reporting to the young sect master that the signal came from here and their people are dead. The young sect master looks annoyed, saying the flare was for treasures, not rescue, and orders their bodies chopped up for the Lei to eat. Someone actually dared to kill members of Wan Yao sect. I will find him and make him pay a miserable price. In truth, Lin Jikin never left. He hides behind a rock and watches, recognizing the newcomer as Li Xinghun, a rising star of the demonic sect known for ruthless methods and future invasions when the game merges with reality. The grudge with Li Xinghun is now set, so every next move must be calculated carefully. If only his master were here to back him up. But then again, a master isn't someone you call any time for protection. Of course, that only applies to a beautiful female master, not a male one. Meanwhile, in the kitchen of Tianyan Sword Sect, Lung Feiyan suddenly sneezes non-stop. She looks at the bright red soup and realizes she probably added too much chili. A female disciple walks in with ingredients and reports everything is ready, and Lung Feiyan tells her to place them on the table. Lung Feiyan checks each item carefully, all perfectly prepared. Her thoughts drift to the image of personally taking care of Lin Jikin. She secretly vows that once her cooking improves, she will make a proper feast for her disciple. Back at Thunder Marsh, Lin Jikin soon runs into a fierce 8-headed beast. He draws his sword, intrigued, having just clashed with Wan Yao sect and now facing the Kai Ming beast. Dangerous places often hide rare opportunities. He unleashes a freezing sword strike straight at it. The attack barely scratches the monster. Realizing it's not enough, he focuses all his spirit into his sword intent. His arm slashes down without hesitation. A powerful wave of sword light bursts out. An explosion follows as the Kai Ming beast takes the hit head-on. A server-wide announcement echoes, congratulating Lin Jikin as the first player to kill a Golden Core boss, rewarding fame, gear, Dao Heartfruit, and a medal. The system sends congratulations to all other players. At Thunder Marsh, Lin Jikin checks the loot, thrilled to find a rare material essential for crafting Heavenly Dao Crystal. He also equips a pair of exquisite boots that boost speed, dodge, leg strength, and even grant passive stealth, a top-tier item worth an apartment at peak era. The remaining items are also useful, especially for sword flight. The unsuitable gear can be sold for a high price. Just then, he senses someone approaching. Without hesitation, he collects everything and vanishes without a trace. Soon after, members of Wan Yao sect arrive. A subordinate questions the scene, but Li Xinghun observes and denies any link to their target. His eyes land on the corpse of the Kai Ming beast. After checking, he sees it was killed by a single sword strike, with lingering sword intent still in the air. That only excites him more, as the killer is clearly no ordinary cultivator. By now, Lin Jikin is dozens of miles away in another canyon. After half a day with no sign of the Thunder Dragon, he realizes exploring the 8 desolations demands patience. Suddenly, the sound of battle echoes from afar. He sees a woman being chased, and the pursuer says her identity is exposed so she cannot be left alive. A thunderous strike blasts her flying. The man coldly urges her to give up, promising a quick death. Even injured, she refuses and warns him of the consequences if this is discovered. Liang Baya clenches his fist with confidence and declares the sect master will never know because she dies here today. At that critical moment, Lin Jikin appears on a cliff in monk robes, calmly chanting Amitabha, stunning Liang Baya, who demands to know who he is. Lin Jikin speaks endlessly about saving the suffering and stopping injustice, telling him to release the girl and face this poor monk instead. Liang Baya frowns, asking where this fake monk came from and why he's meddling instead of chanting scriptures. He slams out a palm strike, shattering the cliff where Lin Jikin stood. But Lin Jikin vanishes like smoke and reappears right on his arm. He calmly lectures about karma and the consequences of killing. Liang Baya explodes in anger and attacks wildly, yet Lin Jikin disappears again. He scans the area and realizes Fang Qingju is gone too, likely escaping during the chaos. Furious, he draws his sword and slashes everywhere, shouting for him to come out. Trees collapse across the canyon, but there's no trace of the target, leaving him unsettled and suspecting a special stealth technique. In reality, Lin Jikin already escaped far away with Fang Qingju, thanks to his new gear's stealth effect. Half-conscious, Fang Qingju looks at her savior and wonders who he really is. After running for a while, Lin Jikin spots a cave and decides to hide there. He carefully checks the surroundings to make sure no one followed. Inside the cave, they start a fire, and Feng Qingju thanks him sincerely, but Lin Jikin waves it off, saying he's not truly a Buddhist. She insists the favor must be repaid and asks why he helped her. He answers seriously that as someone from the righteous path, he cannot stand by while demonic cultivators harm others. Hearing that, Feng Qingju blushes slightly and feels a growing sense of goodwill. The system notifies that her favorability has increased, and Lin Jikin feels satisfied. Suddenly, her name triggers a familiar memory. Feng Qingju is a top disciple of Xuanyi sect who once caused a major event. When Jianglong City was attacked by demons, she exhausted herself saving countless lives. She even fought on the front lines. But as a healer, her combat power could not match the brutal monsters. In the middle of that fierce battle, she disappeared. Later, they found her body among piles of demon corpses, lifeless. Her body was badly mutilated, her face no longer intact. Jianglong City built a statue in her honor at the central square. Lin Jikin grows thoughtful, since she should have survived until the worlds merged, yet now she almost died, meaning fate is already shifting. At that moment, Feng Qingju takes out a letter and hands it to him. She asks Lin Daoyu to accept it. The system explains it is a recommendation letter to the inner hall of Xuanyi sect, allowing direct entry if qualified. Thinking of his master's reaction, he immediately gives up the idea of joining. He gently declines, saying he already has a sect, but will keep the letter and recommend someone suitable in the future. In his mind, he thinks of Chu Shui as a perfect match for Xuanyi sect. Feng Qingju nods without forcing him, and he asks about her next plan. She explains that she and her senior brother came to Thunder Marsh to find the Thunder Dragon, but things went wrong. Lin Jikin is surprised they share the same target, and she says she needs its blood essence for alchemy before asking his purpose. He answers briefly that he needs the Thunder Dragon's heart. She proposes cooperation so each can take what they need, and he agrees while warning about Wanyao sect and Liang Baiye. Both understand the situation is dangerous and must be handled carefully. Feng Qingju suddenly realizes why Liang Baiye was so desperate to kill her. Her face darkens as she suspects he betrayed their sect to trade the Thunder Dragon for benefits from Wanyao sect. To cover it up, she had to disappear. After that, he could return and fabricate a story. Lin Jikin wonders why Wanyao sect is hunting the Thunder Dragon so aggressively, and she says the demonic sect has been making big moves lately. He immediately understands that events are accelerating and a great war is coming. The next morning, Lin Jikin steps out of the cave and stretches under the rare sunlight. Feng Qingju quietly watches him, her thoughts complicated, as the system records another rise in favorability. Seeing her favorability rise, Lin Jikin feels secretly pleased and starts forming new plans. Suddenly, he senses something off. Without hesitation, he grabs her and retreats. A massive creature crashes in right after, shattering rocks on impact. It's the Purgatory Denkang, one of the most terrifying beasts in Thunder Marsh. Feng Qingju steps forward with her umbrella as a weapon and tells him to fall back. She channels spirit energy and charges in. The umbrella slams hard onto the monster's head. Watching from behind, Lin Jikin feels a strange emotion rising. At that moment, Liang Baiye arrives after hearing the commotion. He grins, planning to take advantage and eliminate them both. As he speaks, he draws his sword and rushes at Lin Jikin. Feng Qingju's expression changes when she recognizes him. She turns back immediately, choosing to stay and block him so Lin Jikin can escape. Lin Jikin quickly assesses the power gap. Suddenly, a colossal figure coils across the sky, lightning crackling around its body. He grips his sword, eyes turning sharp, refusing to retreat now that the target has appeared. His mind rapidly maps out the order of actions. But before he can move, the Purgatory Denkang suddenly turns and runs. He is briefly stunned by this reaction. The beast ends up crashing into rocks and killing itself. Feng Qingju is shocked, but Lin Jikin understands it was suppressed by a higher presence. Soon after, they both sense another powerful aura approaching. She feels the danger, and he guesses it's Wanyao sect. Liang Baiye laughs, thinking victory is certain. But when he looks again, the two have vanished. He stands there, confused. Just then, Li Xinghun arrives with his subordinates and scolds him for hesitating. Liang Baiye lowers his head, claiming it was his first time seeing the Thunder Dragon, and he reacted too slowly. Li Xinghun sneers and calls him trash. He then looks at the Thunder Dragon with disdain, still not kneeling to die. The moment he finishes speaking, he attacks. Nearby, Lin Jikin and Feng Qingju hide using a concealment skill, barely avoiding disaster. It's an Earth-tier skill that erases their presence for half an hour, but they cannot use spirit energy or they'll be exposed, and Feng Qingju quietly asks what they should do next. Lin Jikin tells her to head to Bianshui town west of Thunder Marsh and wait, saying he'll find her once. There's news of the Thunder Dragon, and she worries he can't face them alone. She hesitates, then grabs his hand, saying they should advance and retreat together, even risk their lives together. Lin Jikin snorts lightly, saying the two of them stand no chance, and there's no need to throw their lives away. He hands her the Wind Thunder umbrella and tells her to leave first, and if he doesn't arrive in a day, bring it to his master at the Sword Sect. A heavy feeling crosses his heart as he reminds himself that the cultivation world runs on power and backing. Fang Qingju accepts the umbrella and nods, telling him to be careful and that she'll wait in town. She leaves reluctantly, thinking about how he stayed behind to face danger for her sake. The system notifies her favorability rises by 20, now reaching 55 with no distance left. Meanwhile, the Thunder Dragon is completely suppressed by Li Xinghun's group. Lin Jikin silently evaluates their strength, impressed by how easily they handle the dragon as his stealth time runs out. After the time it takes to drink a cup of tea, the Thunder Dragon is utterly exhausted. Li Xinghun delivers the finishing blow. He wipes his hands with a white cloth and mocks the dragon for daring to call itself a dragon. Liang Baiye quickly flatters him, offering to handle the heart and soul seed so his hands stay clean, and Li Xinghun nods. Liang Baiye eagerly rushes toward the corpse. On the other side, Lin Jikin pulls out a horn and blows it, an earth-tier treasure that releases demonic sound to deal AoE damage and temporarily control beasts below Crystal Realm. He recalls an old lesson, that disaster and opportunity always walk together. The ground suddenly starts shaking violently. Was that sound from the horn? What's going on? Li Xinghun turns and sees countless demonic beasts rushing in from afar. Have these beasts gone insane? He immediately orders his men to deal with them. Meanwhile, Liang Baiye keeps searching the corpse, muttering that the heart should be around here. Suddenly, a toad leaps onto him, catching him off guard. What the hell is this? Get off me, it's burning, my face. Taking advantage of the chaos, Lin Jikin swiftly makes his move. He snatches the Thunder Dragon's heart and soul seed. He smirks inside, thinking they are nowhere near his level. After struggling for a while, Liang Baiye finally throws the toad away and curses. His eyes still sting with pain. When he looks back, he freezes. The Thunder Dragon's corpse has a huge hole. The heart and soul seed are gone. Right then, Li Xinghun walks over and demands to know why the loot isn't delivered yet. Liang Baiye panics and says the items from the Thunder Dragon have disappeared. Li Xinghun's face darkens as his aura erupts. He grabs Liang Baiye by the collar and lifts him up. Liang Protector, you dare hide my spoils? Tired of living, he slams him away with a palm strike. Severely injured, Liang Baiye still crawls up, swearing he would never dare betray him. At that exact moment, Lin Jikin's stealth effect expires. His figure appears in broad daylight, yet he keeps running like nothing happened. Liang Baiye spots him and shouts that the thief must be that kid who can turn invisible. Lin Jikin quickly hides the loot in his robe and casually says they should carry on while he leaves first. The next second, he mounts his flying sword and bolts, knowing if he slows down, he's dead. Li Xinghun immediately gives chase, killing intent surging, asking if he has a death wish. He shouts for the kid to stop and promises to spare his life. Lin Jikin doesn't believe a single word. Seeing him ignore the warning, Li Xinghun attacks. The force slams into Lin Jikin, nearly knocking him off balance mid-air. With danger closing in, he heads straight for the teleportation array at Bianshui Town. After a desperate escape, he finally reaches it, exhausted. Fang Qingju is already waiting, and lights up with relief. She calls out that she's here. But she soon sees Li Xinghun chasing behind him, roaring that he won't escape. Her face pales at the sight. Without hesitation, she activates a support technique. Lin Jikin instantly feels his stats surge, his speed boosted by her power. He lands on the ground, then channels all his spirit energy into his sword. He unleashes Frost Moon slash straight at Li Xinghun. It deals no real damage but briefly freezes him. Lin Jikin grabs Fang Qingju's hand and runs toward the teleportation array, saying this is enough. She throws in spirit stones, praying the formation activates in time. As long as the teleport succeeds, they survive. But Li Xinghun shatters the ice almost instantly and launches another attack. He condenses his energy into a spear and hurls it forward. Both of them turn pale as the attack closes in. It's too late. This might be the end. A massive explosion erupts, smoke filling the air. When it clears, the teleportation array is completely destroyed. But just before that, Lin Jichen and Fang Qingju had already vanished. Li Xinghun stands there, removes his hood, and coldly admits they escaped fast. Still, next time they meet, luck won't save them. Elsewhere, the two appear inside a safe zone. They finally escape danger, and with Li Xinghun's identity, he would be eliminated if he dared enter this territory. Lin Jichen turns to Fang Qingju and says they should return to their respective sects soon to avoid pursuit from Wanmo sect. Fang Qingju paused for a moment, feeling reluctant at the thought of parting ways. She quickly regained her composure, took his and said, "Take care, Lin Daoxiao. We'll meet again." Lin Jichen nodded and replied, "Until we meet again." He felt a little awkward under her affectionate gaze. After that, he returned to the sword palace of the Tianyun sword sect and called out, "Master, I'm back." He couldn't help wondering if his master had missed him. Just then, Lung Feiyan came out to greet him with a bright smile. More precisely, it was an unusually gentle smile as she said, "My good disciple is back." A chill ran down his spine, making him suspicious. Something felt off about his master today. He quickly opened his storage bag and offered it up. "Master, I've completed the mission. These are the items from the Thunder Dragon. Please accept them." He felt much more at ease after handing over the spoils first. Leng Feiyan looked puzzled. "You defeated the Thunder Dragon by yourself?" Lin Jiken hesitated before saying, "It's a long story. Why don't you take the items first?" But she shook her head and told him to keep them, curious about how he pulled it off. He paused before telling the truth. "I didn't kill the Thunder Dragon. I secretly took it." "Stole it?" Leng Feiyan looked even more confused, and Lin Jiken nodded. She headed inside and told him to follow, asking for the full story, while secretly thinking about the surprise she had prepared for him. Lin Jiken quickly grabbed his bag and followed behind with excitement. He then explained everything that happened in Thunder Marsh. After listening, Leng Feiyan seemed to understand and said meaningfully, "So you not only got the Thunder Dragon's heart, but also gained a new connection." She casually hinted that Fang Qingju must be exceptionally beautiful for him to risk so much. Feeling the pressure, Lin Jiken hurriedly explained that he acted because good and evil were opposed, not because of her looks, and even praised his master as unmatched. Even so, Lung Feiyan was not fully convinced and kept pressing him. Faced with her questions, he repeatedly assured her that he would have helped anyone. Only then did she finally let it go. Seeing the atmosphere ease up, Lin Jiken quickly tried to leave, claiming he needed rest. But Lung Feiyan stopped him and suggested he bathe at her place, saying she had prepared spiritual medicine to aid his cultivation. His mind instantly wandered in the wrong direction, as he imagined all sorts of things. She calmly said the bath was ready, and then left. Lin Jiken stood there awkwardly before realizing he had misunderstood. He changed clothes, wrapped himself in a towel, and reminded himself not to overthink. Then he stepped into the bath and relaxed in the warm water. Outside, Lung Feiyan heard the movement and spoke up. Her voice drifted in, urging him to finish bathing soon, and hinting that something else was waiting. Hearing that, Lin Jiken was surprised and immediately became curious. He continued soaking, enjoying the comfort, while thinking about how the spiritual liquid could help him advance. Suddenly, a thought flashed through his mind and his expression changed. A breakthrough would trigger a lightning tribulation. Right after that, the sky above began to change as dark clouds gathered. He instantly realized what was about to happen. He quickly formed a protective barrier around himself and prepared for it. When the first bolt of lightning struck, he stood firm without suffering any damage. At that moment, Lung Feiyan entered the room and removed her outer robe. She walked straight into the bath. Then she gestured for silence. Before Lin Jiken could understand what was happening, he was swept into an unexpected situation. Sometime later, he lay motionless on the bed with hazy consciousness. Suddenly, he sat up and shouted, "Master!" But all he saw was Lung Feiyan sitting nearby. Only then did he realize everything before had been a dream illusion. Even so, he quickly noticed that real changes had taken place. The system informed him that he had passed the lightning tribulation, earned new rewards and a new title, and gained greater power. Leng Feiyan looked at him with satisfaction and congratulated him on overcoming the trial. He scratched his head and gave all the credit to her. She stood up and urged him to go see what she had prepared. Lin Jiken immediately got out of bed and followed her. She turned away while he finally noticed his own condition and hurriedly covered himself. He frantically searched for his clothes, got dressed, and rushed after her while repeatedly thanking her. His heart was filled with anticipation as he imagined the valuable reward awaiting him. But what awaited him was a table full of strange-looking dishes that made anyone hesitate. He couldn't help wondering what those dishes even were. Pretending not to notice, he tried to walk past them, but Lung Feiyan stopped him and said what he was looking for was right there. He turned back with a confused look and asked again,